It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland. It seems like every time the Tigers get closer and closer to being healthy, another setback comes with another injury. We obviously know the Jackson Jobe news that occurred last week. And this weekend, one of their best guys out of the pen, Will Vest, bulletproof Vest as they've been calling him, left the game with an injury. We don't know the current status on it, but it did not look great. And it's scary for a Tigers team that already has some question marks in the bullpen outside of Will Vest and Tommy Kahnle. Reese Olson and Matt Vierling, we learned this weekend, are nearing return. But with the potential injury or time missed with Will Vest, it makes not only bullpen arm more of a need, but another high-leverage bullpen guy, because right now the Tigers were in a spot where they had two high-leverage guys that you trusted at the end of games. It seemed like a left-handed guy out of the pen was the major need for Detroit. But if Will Vest is going to miss any sort of time, man, it puts a lot of pressure on Tommy Kahnle, because there isn't another guy out of that pen that you really trust in the 8th or 9th inning outside of Kahnle right now. And we've discussed the needs for the Tigers at the deadline. We're still over a month and a half away from that. Left side of the infield, a right-handed bat, that's a need. Starting pitching was tossed around a little bit. But at the end of the day, you can never use enough bullpen guys, and especially if Will Vest is going to miss any time, that's going to be the big need for Detroit here shortly. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think.
That's really a great point, yeah.
And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am and what I am, what I stand for. And, you know, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you know, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you know, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Appointment radio across the state.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show. Happy Monday, everyone. Week number 3 that we've got this thing off the ground and rolling. Another exciting week and another exciting show planned out for everyone here today. Hello to everyone listening in the Great Lakes Bay region. Hello to everyone watching on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Go subscribe and join the fun here on 100.9 The Mitt. I am Ben Bosscher. Ben Bosscher. Kyle Sandell behind the glass today, producing for us on this Monday. Kyle, before we get started, because we've got a lot to get to today. I mean, Tigers lose their first series in quite some time, and some pretty, I don't know if I can say detrimental news because we don't actually have any updates, but Will Vest potentially going to be absent for a while. We already were shaky about this bullpen, so a lot to talk about with this Detroit Tigers team. That's where we're going to start. We've got some U.S. Open stuff to get to because, certified golf guys now. And then we've got some around the league coming up later on. We're going to do a Pistons mock trade because a bombshell dropped in the NBA world yesterday. Finals aren't even over, and we've got trades being made, and there's more to come. So, with that being said, I'm very excited for today's show. But I'm not going to lie to you, Kyle. Last night, I had a moment where I started to feel old. I wake up in the middle of the night and just have this intense, just awful cramp going on in my calf, like to the point where I'm like freaking out in my bed, like, am I going to ever recover from this? Like, why is my leg cramped up to the point where I'm going to like start screaming and yelling? And I was like, dude, I'm like 23. Why is this happening? That never happened before. I think the week just caught up to me. Doing the shows and the Loons games, I just wasn't drinking enough water. So we've got our water bottle here today.
I mean, that's really shouldn't make you feel old. Cramps happen.
Yeah, but out of nowhere in the middle of the night, just sleeping, waking up to your calf turning into a tennis ball. It was
That
strange.
is the worst feeling of all time, yeah. Got to keep drinking water, man. Get back on schedule.
Has that happened to you? You're making it seem like it's not a big deal.
It's happened to me before. It has happened to me in quite some time, but it definitely has happened, yeah.
You have a good weekend, though?
Yeah, I did have a good weekend. I wasn't in the ballpark this weekend, unlike you, but I'm ready to get back into things here.
Did you end up having fun at that wedding that we talked about on Friday?
Change of plans happened. I didn't attend the wedding, unfortunately. Had some other stuff come up, but
Well,
no dancing for me.
no dancing for Kyle.
Sucks.
That's okay. We'll dance to the next thing then. And the next thing I'm very excited about. So here's my idea for the start of the show today. We had a bombshell happen not only in the NBA yesterday, but the Major League Baseball as well. And I just started thinking around a little bit, and I was like, okay, I've got a good idea. So we're going to play my favorite game. We're going to do some role-playing. I'm going to be Scott Harris. You're going to be Craig Breslow, the Red Sox GM. You all right with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I'm Scott Harris. You're Craig Breslow. This is me calling you. I didn't put a phone sounder in, but
Right.
I'm calling you right now. Hey, Craig, it's Scott. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. How about you?
It's going good. I see that you guys just moved on from Devers, though. Kind of crazy with a plus 900 OPS. Really impact bat. What's going on? You guys looking to sell here at the deadline? Blow everything up?
Well, you see, we had an unhappy player that we signed to an 11-year extension just 2 seasons ago, and we brought in his replacement for God knows what reason, and he got unhappy and left. So, yeah, we potentially are looking to sell.
So let me get this straight. If the next month and a half doesn't go very well, you guys are sitting 6.5 games back from the Yankees right now, 4th in your division, even though you're above 500. You just got rid of your best bat. Your second best bat is on IL right now in Alex Bregman. Let's say things don't go well here over the next 90-ish days. Really more like next 45 days until the trade deadline. Let's say things don't go well leading up to July 31st. You willing to blow this thing up and tear it down to the studs?
Yeah, I think so.
Can I interest you in anything? Here's my question, Craig. What's it going to take for us to get Alex Bregman off your hands? He's on the expiring deal. If you guys look to bottom out here, I mean, obviously you just lost Devers. If you guys do bottom out and don't make the playoffs, there's a chance he opts out of that contract and looks to go elsewhere. Why don't you capitalize on his success? I know he's injured right now. We're willing to roll the dice on it. We wanted him this offseason. You guys landed him. What would it take to get Alex Bregman off your hands? And why don't you throw in a Aroldis Chapman too? What's that going to look like? Because we've got the farm system, and we need to go after some people. We're looking to make this a real run to the World Series this year. And, you know, with the news that we got with Vest over the weekend, we don't know what's going to happen with that. We'd like some guys that can help bulk up the bullpen in addition to a right-handed bat that we wanted. So what would it take to get both of these guys here, Craig?
Well, being that we just traded our franchise player who's under contract for 8 more seasons following this one for a non-top 100 prospect and 2 major league arms that are both below average, having subpar seasons, it probably isn't going to take too much, right? Maybe one of your top 5 guys potentially that maybe not even be top 100. How about a Josue Briseño? How about a Hao Yu Lee?
Yeah, no, that sounds great. You can have both those
How about
guys.
a Troy
if you
Melton?
want. Yeah, keep naming guys, man. Who else you need in this to make it happen?
Because I don't think we need either of Max Clark or Kevin McGonigal.
Oh, you don't?
No, not at all.
Okay. Who do you want then? Because, hey, you start naming people. I'll throw them in here if we can get this to happen.
Well, who are you willing to give up?
Me personally, anybody. But you just said Max Clark, and you don't want those guys, so why would I offer them right now, you know?
Right. But anyone outside of those two is on the table.
I mean, you don't want them. I would gladly trade them away, but it sounds like you don't really want them, Craig.
Well, we clearly aren't interested in top 100 prospects for some of our valuable players, so no need to ask for them.
So you're telling me this could work out with, like, let's say we'll give you Trey Sweeney, we'll give you Jose Briseño. You know what? You just took on a rookie ball player. How about another one in Bryce Rayner? I know he's banged up right now, dealing with the shoulder injury. You can have Hao Yu Lee, you can have Jace Young. How does that sound, man? We really want Bregman in the building. Aroldis Chapman would be a nice add-on too. I think both those guys. What do you think? 5 prospects. Trey Sweeney. Probably need another big leaguer too, right? Who do you want on our roster right now?
Well, see, we did just run into a situation where we traded away. We had 2 third basemen, and if we do this trade, we'll have 0. So it'd be nice to get a guy that could fill that spot. Don't know how much that makes sense for us to trade away both of our third basemen within a month of each other.
Right. Well, the problem is we don't have a third base. Do you want Matt Vierling? You can have Matt Vierling if you'd like. If that's what it's going to take to get Alex Bregman to be a Tiger, I think I'm willing to do that.
Here's the issue, Scott.
Yeah.
No one even really knows, even internally in our Red Sox organization, what direction we're heading in. Right? We don't know if we want major leaguers or prospects. Because this offseason, we made a huge trade to get Garrett Crochet, one of the best arms in all of baseball. AL Cy Young favorite coming into this season, actually. And next thing you know, we traded away our franchise player 3 months later. And right now, we're not on pace to make the playoffs. But when we did trade away our franchise player, it wasn't for prospects. It was for major league players currently. So I personally don't even know what we want in a trade.
Well, it sounds like you're really bad at your job then, Craig.
That could be the case.
Okay, I'm hanging up. We'll talk later. All right. Is it crazy to suggest that the Tigers could make an offer to get Alex Bregman to be a Tiger? I guess that's where we were kind of heading in that direction. And not only would Alex Bregman, I think, be a nice fit, but how far would you be willing to go to get Alex Bregman and Aroldis Chapman? Because that checks 2 of the biggest boxes, probably the 2 boxes that the Tigers absolutely need here at the trade deadline. Right? Now that Vest could be out for, we don't really know when. The Tigers needed another arm anyway in the bullpen, and now that Vest is out, it's like, okay, now you might need 1 to 2 arms here in the bullpen. Why would you not go get someone like Aroldis Chapman, who's having one of the better seasons, maybe not of his entire career, but hey, you stack the numbers up against each other. He's got the best whip in his career since 2014. He's got one of the best ERAs in his career too. We'll see what happens as the season progresses. Obviously, the age comes into consideration there towards the end of the season, but the strikeouts are up, the walks are down. This guy's having a hell of a season and obviously has the pedigree of being in a postseason and knowing, what's at stake once you get to that postseason. That's an arm I'd feel real comfortable coming in and stabilizing the bullpen. He just so happens to be on a team that maybe took the first step yesterday in blowing things up. And if the Red Sox continue to trend down and they just lost their best hitter, so odds are things are going to continue to trend down. And it looks like come the week before July 31st, they're going to be sellers here at the deadline. Why would Scott Harris not call up Craig Breslow and basically say, you name the price, we want Bregman and Aroldis Chapman, and you make one of the biggest deals at the deadline, probably the biggest deal at the deadline, and really capitalize on the moment. Again, we've talked about it. You look around the American League, there's not really a team to fear. Go make that team you, right? The Tigers are starting to show some signs of morality, right? They're not this juggernaut of a team. They happen to catch fire. I think it's sustainable. I think they are the best team in the American League, but they have their weaknesses, and the bullpen is by far that number one reason. And if Vest is going to be out, it's an even bigger issue. The Tigers have a real issue in their bullpen if Will Vest is going to be out for the foreseeable future. So why would you not add someone with the pedigree of an Aroldis Chapman, who happens to be having a great season and also on an expiring contract? And if you're going to call Boston, there's no incentive to not ask about the guy that you tried to get in the building for so long this offseason in Alex Bregman. Two birds. There it is. 2 birds, 1 stone. Get yourself a right-handed bat to play on the left side of the infield. Sorry, Matt Vierling. Get yourself another arm for the bullpen, whether Vest is healthy or not. I don't really care what it has, like what is on the table for Boston. Clearly, they don't need a whole lot, because what Devers went for, it was a bag of pennies. I'm willing to give up a lot more than what San Fran gave up to go acquire both Alex Bregman and Aroldis Chapman. What do you think? 989-837-6125. Do you think the Tigers' bullpen is a real issue? Would you be willing to make a mega deal at the deadline to get the likes of Alex Bregman and Aroldis Chapman? Tigers obviously take a series loss against the Reds this weekend, and I think it just kind of, showed us that the Tigers are moral, right? They've got their weaknesses, and I think the bullpen is clearly at the top of that list. And, there's no reason to panic, but you do have to be self-aware enough to say, hey, this is the weakness of the team, and come July 31st, they've got a chance to address it. Well, why not go try to get the guy that you landed, or try to get the guy that you were interested in all offseason long in Alex Bregman as well. 989-837-6125. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up. I want to get your guys' thoughts on an Alex Bregman / Aroldis Chapman trade that the Tigers could possibly be doing here in the near future. We've got our Monday morning stock exchange, U.S. Open thoughts, some football, some basketball, all in the mix here on the Ben Bosscher Show on this Monday. Hey, you need to go get supplied up for some tasks this summer. You got to head to Ace Hardware and Sports, locally owned and proudly family operated right here in the heart of Midland. Take advantage of the $3 off Ortho Weed Killer, proven power to take your yard back, or go even bigger with $10 off Spruce Weed and Grass Killer. Tough on the weeds, easy on your wallet. Visit them at East Main Street in downtown Midland, right where local service meets big-time savings, supporting your yard and your community all in one stop. Without Will Vest, the Tigers need to add another closer, plus the Monday morning stock exchange at 9:45. Top of the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to hit some thoughts on the U.S. Open. It's all coming up on a Monday. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think. If you That's really a great point, yeah. And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am and what I stand for. And, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it. Yeah. And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. As a business owner, you might be struggling with today's technological advancements in the IT arena and how they could benefit your growing business. Let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Let's clean up that yard. Save $3 instantly on select Roundup and Ortho weed killers. Save $10 on 64-ounce spruce, weed, and grass killer. You know what season it is? Grilling season. Free assembly and delivery on grills, $399 and up from brands like Weber and Traeger. Need that deck touched up? Do it and save $10 instantly on a gallon of Cabot exterior stain.
Experience world-class golf and family fun at the Dow Championship. Returning to Midland Country Club June 23rd to the 29th. Come and see top LPGA professionals compete in the only team-based event on the tour. Explore interactive fan experiences, family-friendly activities, and delicious local food vendors. Plus, veterans and children under 17 get in free. Don't miss out. Visit DowChampionship.com today for more information.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt. Look, we threw out the idea of a mega trade, right? Obviously, the trade deadline is still 45 days away, 44 days away. It's July 31st. So we've got some time, but you know, when the Tigers are in first place, this is kind of all you're thinking about. How do you make this team better? And, you know, while this is the alternative, sitting here and complaining about losing the season series or the weekend series against the Reds, I think this is a healthy alternative of, hey, this, you know, over the past week and a half has shown some red flags of this team, specifically the bullpen. We've talked about it time and time again. And again, yesterday, your best bullpen guy in Vest throws a wild pitch, goes out of control, ends up scoring a run on the wild pitch, and then immediately gets taken out of the game because of some stuff going on with his pinky that we didn't really get any updates on since that happened. So if you're going to be out without Vest for the foreseeable future, and again, that's pretty much speculation, and Canley's really the only guy in the bullpen that you trust, you're running into an issue here. So why not call up Boston if they're already trying to sell their team, which it seems like they are endeavors, that or they're just trying to get rid of a loser of a player. But either way, like even if that's the case, you're just trying to get a headache out of the clubhouse, you're probably still going to suffer some losses here more so than wins because you just got rid of your best bat. Your other best bat that you signed is on IL right now, and Alex Bregman. So who are the guys that you're pointing to as your best players right now? No one, because you traded both, or you traded one of them and one of them's hurt. So if the Red Sox do continue to struggle here for the next month and a half, and they continue to fall in the standings, even though they're one game above 500, they're 6.5 back from the Yankees, despite having some success against them this weekend. If that's going to be the case, then they're probably going to continue to sell here at the deadline. I think the Tigers should capitalize on that because the Red Sox do have some favorable guys that any team would want. Why not make it the Tigers and give up whatever you got to do in the farm system? I've made my viewpoint on this clear. I don't think anyone's untouchable. I wouldn't be in a rush to trade McGonigal and Clark in the farm system, but I don't think there should be any hesitation to put one of those guys up for sale if it means you can get the likes of future Hall of Famer Aroldis Chapman and someone who's having an outstanding year before he got hurt in Alex Bregman. Your thoughts on this, Kyle?
Well, I think to your previous point about just how this weekend went, it's very clear that bullpen is the number one need for the Tigers, right? We've discussed the right-handed bat, which there it is with Alex Bregman, and starting pitching with everything that went on with Jackson Jobe. Reese Olson's still not back yet. But, like, it's very obvious that the need is the bullpen arm, especially with this Will Vest stuff happening. We've seen the bullpen days where the Tigers are losing and the bullpen, you know, gives up a couple runs and the bats are unable to get back into it. But yesterday's loss was absolutely on the bullpen, right? The Tigers' bats come back into the game, take the lead, and then it gets blown late. So, yeah, the big need is not only a bullpen guy, but Chapman fits exactly what you need, which is a lefty out of the bullpen. Mm-hmm. That's something that they really don't have. Brant Herter's been good, but he's more of that utility, you know, Swiss Army knife guy, can be an opener, middle guy, and maybe pitch an inning late. They need a high-leverage guy. There's a lot of pressure on Tommy Canley to be the guy now in every single game when you had a nice tandem of him and Vest. Now, we don't know how long Vest is going to be out. Obviously, we hope not a long time, but we can't just assume he's not going to miss any time. So Chapman fits exactly what you need. The Bregman stuff, I'm not saying I'm out on it, but Chapman is a much bigger priority than Bregman is.
I agree it's a much bigger priority, but let's not pretend like Alex Bregman isn't a bona fide all-star before he got hurt, the numbers he's putting up. So if you've got a chance to add someone like that, that's why I said sorry, Matt Vierling, when we were doing our little role-playing thing, and I was Scott Harris and you were Craig Breslow, the Red Sox general manager. It's like, yeah, I like Matt Vierling too, and I'd like to see him come back and what this team looks like when he comes back. But if you've got a chance to land Alex Bregman, you don't hesitate to do so, even though the players love Alex Bregman. Even though Zach McKinstry's had a hell of a season and is a great utility guy, if you've got a chance to add Alex Bregman, it shouldn't be a question. It shouldn't be a hesitation.
Right.
You do that, and if you're going to call Boston about Aroldis Chapman, you may as well ask about Bregman. You know he has interest in coming to Detroit. You know you had interest in acquiring him. You gave him this, what everyone says is this amazing deal, that irresistible deal that he ended up turning down to go to Boston. He's got an opt-out after this year, and if Boston continues to slide and doesn't make the postseason, well, he's got a chance to opt out of that contract, and then Boston would get nothing in return for him if he decided to leave in free agency. So if I'm Boston and I'm looking at they continue to lose here for 40 games, why would you probably should trade Alex Bregman with the idea, let's get something in return for him, even if it's not a ton. And then the Chapman thing is just, hey, if we're blowing this thing up, if we're already trading Devers and Bregman, we may as well trade Chapman too.
Yeah, if you're not good, there's no point in holding on to a guy like Aroldis Chapman.
Because someone like the Tigers should pay, I don't want to say premium dollar for a 37-year-old on an expiring contract, but you'll be able to get something. For those two guys, the Tigers should be willing to give up more than what San Fran just gave up to get someone, to get both of those guys.
Who's worth much more, yes.
Right. Yeah, but, I mean, the both of them, the combo of Bregman and Chapman is where I think they could get a better return than what they just gave up, or what they just got in return for Devers. I mean, Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, and then a couple prospects. It's like, you didn't get a whole lot. It kind of felt like a situation where you just wanted to remove someone from your clubhouse fast, as soon as possible. Because we've talked about it. That guy, Devers is just a loser, man.
But, that guy's your franchise player, man.
Was.
You were part of the reason why he was unhappy. You brought in a guy to play his position without really, going over it with him first. You signed him to an 11-year deal 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just deal that guy away 2 years into it.
I agree with you. But they decided to, and now you got to react to that.
Mishandled situation by the Red Sox. I agree that Devers is being a loser this year, for sure. But also, he's your franchise guy. You kind of have to do what he wants, not bring in Alex Bregman and just wanting to. I don't know.
No, this isn't the NBA, Kyle. I think you're getting your leagues confused. The players don't have as much control and power.
Are you sure? Because Rafi Devers just worked his way out.
Was he trying to get out of there, though, or was he just being Rafael Devers?
Jeff Passan said after the trade went down that Devers wanted out of Boston.
That doesn't surprise me either. It seems like both sides have been butting heads all season. But if Boston's going to blow this thing up, the Tigers should be the first person on the... Scott Harris should be constantly on the phone. He should be working everyone, trying to see who's available, who's not, who's the best player.
He probably is.
That should be the goal. Because right now, I don't think... What's been very clear over the past week and a half is this bullpen is a strong issue. I don't know if it's as big of an issue as they need a right-handed bat to hit left-handed hitting, but it's you're going to need another star at some point in the lineup. Elly De La Cruz, every time he was up to bat this weekend, it was oh my God, this guy's horrifying. The Tigers don't have someone like that in their lineup. How do you make up for that? Bring in a guy like Alex Bregman to where maybe he's not this superstar the way Elly De La Cruz is, but to have a Bregman, a Torkelson, a Green, a Carpenter, a Gleyber Torres, to have five guys that you can truly count on to have a good at-bat, that's how you make up for not having a super-duper star like an Elly De La Cruz, who's just a constant threat at all times to go yard, steal a base, one of those guys. Right? The Tigers don't have
it's hard to predict what the Red Sox are going to do because obviously what happened yesterday, but why would they trade Devers and then Bregman? It felt like the thing that would make most sense was to trade Bregman first, and then it would make Devers happy. So now that they have dealt Rafi, like, why would they trade Bregman now too?
If they continue to win, I don't think they would. But you just traded away your best bat, and Alex Bregman's on IL right now. So there's a chance by the time July 31st rolls around, they just are in a situation where it'd be dumb to not be sellers at the deadline.
And it does seem like Bregman probably will opt out.
989-837-6125. Want to hear some thoughts from other people? You guys can put it in the YouTube chat or text us again at 989-837-6125. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back, hit the news, get to your guys' text. It's a Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Had a fun homestand last week at Dow Diamond, including 2 sellouts on Star Wars Night Saturday and Father's Day on Sunday. Wisconsin would take the 6-game set 4 games to 2, but Loon's bright spots throughout the week. Kendall George had a 4-ribby game on Saturday, and Jordan Thompson closed out Sunday with a nice performance, a ribby double, and a solo homer, his 6th of the year and 5th at home. Jesus Broca is 0-1. Thompson swings. Hard hit ball in the air to right. It's carrying, out! JT goes the other way and has another here at Dow Diamond. This upcoming week, Great Lakes stays home. A 6-game homestand that they begin on Tuesday at 7:05 against the Peoria Chiefs. A loaded weekend. We start with Hometown Heroes Night presented by Meyer on Tuesday. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:50. It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Kari Kiefer from Freeland High School. With a 3.97 GPA, Kari is a 3-sport athlete competing in cross-country, track, and basketball. Kari is a leader on the floor and talked on what she thinks makes an effective leader.
I think to be a great leader, you have to be able to hold each other accountable, like being able to give constructive criticism, but also a positive with it. Anytime I kind of talk with my teammates, I try to give them a positive if I'm going to give them a negative too, just to kind of balance it out and keep that relationship strong.
Kari scored over 1,500 points in her 4 seasons at Freeland. She'll continue her basketball and academic career at Northwood University. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
At Scott Family Dental, they don't just care for your teeth, they care for you. Dr. Brandon Scott, a Michigan State graduate and Midland native, specializes in preventative, cosmetic, and restorative care. But what truly sets him apart is his commitment to building personal connections with every patient.
I value my patients as unique individuals and strive to make the best care decisions for you. I will always be honest and open regarding your care. That is my promise to you and anyone I treat.
Scott Family Dental. Let's bring out your best smile together.
At Airden Garcia Insurance Group, they understand not everyone's insurance needs are the same. That's why they're dedicated to working with our clients to provide an insurance plan that's specific to you.
Whether you need life, home, auto, business, and farm, with their team's extensive knowledge and over 100 years combined experience, you can guarantee they work hard to put you in the best insurance position.
The experience matters. Airden Garcia Insurance Group, Farm Bureau Insurance.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. We'll get to some of your guys' texts here in just a second, but before we do, let's hit the Mitt Morning Catch.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, we got a ton of stuff to get into. Starting off,
Obviously, the Rafi Devers trade happens. It wasn't the only trade that happened this weekend, but let's at least go through the details of the Devers trade. Like you said, Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, James Tibbs, who was the Giants' first-round pick a year ago. Not a top 5 prospect for the Red Sox, by the way. And that's it. Pretty brutal.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the NBA trade. That was like a win for a better reaction than that. Desmond Bane very unexpectedly gets traded. We had 2 big unexpected trades go down. This one in the NBA. Bane gets traded from Memphis to Orlando in exchange for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, and 4 first-round picks, including the Phoenix Suns pick next season.
You know what Orlando did here? They looked around. They looked at the Eastern Conference and said, how do we beat the Pacers? Right? We've got the defensive matchups to do it. We need a little bit more offense. We've got the youth. We've got the athleticism. Maybe we don't have the speed, but we certainly have the size advantage over the Pacers. And I think this is the shift, right? Rather than how do we beat the Celtics, which is what the Knicks did the past offseason. Let's get all these big defensive wings, these 3-and-D players. Orlando's just like, screw it. We're getting big. We're getting young to go toe-to-toe with this Pacers team. We need some more offense, though. Let's go get the best guy that's available right now. I guess most people would probably think that's Kevin Durant.
Was he available? Like,
I guess I don't know. Yeah. Most people probably think the best guy available is like Kevin Durant or Giannis, but I think the Magic viewed it like, let's go get an offensive player who kind of fits this mentality of toughness, of kind of that, jerk mentality, I guess is the best way to put it that I can say on the radio. I'm excited to look at
for sure.
A bully. Yeah, that's a good way to put it too. I think he totally fits in with this Orlando team that's just going to become not like a different version of the Pistons, but like another team that's just like so physically exhausting to play in the East. Right. Whereas the Pacers wear you down with, they're just going to have better stamina than you. This team's going to physically wear you down. Another team now in the Eastern Conference that the Pistons got to take seriously.
Yeah, the East is open next year. That's been made very clear. So Orlando's trying to get into play here. All right, Shohei Ohtani is returning tonight to pitching. He will start tonight against the Padres.
Cannot wait. I've been anticipating this for a long time. I think we have all been. Anyone who likes baseball has been anticipating this for a long time. Seems like he's only going to go 1 or 2 innings. But the interesting part about this is less than a week ago, they were like, yeah, like maybe he'll be back before the All-Star game. The goal's post-All-Star game. Now he's already back. So that tells me he is ready to go, man. And the fact that we finally get this side of Ohtani back, I'm just pushing that GOAT argument. I'm just going to keep doing it. This guy's the best player to ever step on a baseball field. I cannot wait for tonight.
Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball until Ohtani gets back on the mound. The second that first pitch is thrown, Ohtani is back to the best player in baseball.
I can't wait, man. I really can't wait.
I'm excited. First time as a Dodger, he's pitching. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. And
going to be one of the most watched games of the season tonight, for sure.
It's not nationally televised, is it?
I don't believe so. They got to switch things up.
Let me see.
If it's not.
You read the next thing. I'll figure it out.
All right. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but at least more in depth. But J.J. Spaun winning the U.S. Open yesterday, his first major win. He also had never finished top 20 at a major in his career. He was the only player to go under par on the weekend, and he sunk a 60-some foot putt to win it.
First of all, that putt was amazing. Second of all, I'll save the rest of my U.S. Open thoughts for the top of the 10 o'clock hour. Certified golf guy now.
Of course. Okay. This is good. This is some good one here. Angel Reese has become the second youngest player in WNBA history to record a triple-double yesterday. 11 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists.
Angel Reese, a dog, man. A dog.
You are the Angel Reese guy, right?
I was a huge Angel Reese person when they were in college, her and Clark. Like, I was, like, openly like, yeah, like, let's go LSU. Now I just kind of like them both. I think they're both pretty essential to the league. Obviously, one more than the other. I think that goes without saying at this point. But I just think Angel Reese is a little overhated, you know? Like everyone dogs on her. Oh,
like
look
everyone
at all these.
hates her? Yes.
Yeah, everyone hates her. It's like she's a fun personality. Every league needs some villains. And I think she fits the villain role perfect, where nobody in the NBA really wants to be the villain. Or if, you get guys like Dylan Brooks or Draymond. I guess Draymond's kind of a different example. But guys like are trying too much to be the villain, and then it comes across as corny. She's just a natural villain, and it's fantastic. Sports needs more of these. I really think her and Clark have the best rivalry in sports right now in terms of player versus player.
Pretty funny. She's the second youngest player, though, obviously, once again, falling behind Caitlin Clark.
Who was fantastic in her return yesterday.
Yes. Oh, man, that was awesome. This weekend, we also had Game 5 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Game 6 is tomorrow night at 8, but the Panthers up 3-2 now. Mm-hmm. And what else happened in that game, Ben?
Connor McDavid scored a goal. I don't know if anybody else bet it, but I did. We took 4 straight L's on it on the lock of the week. It finally hit on Saturday.
But it wasn't a pick, though, for lock of the day.
But it wasn't a pick for lock of the day. Hope everyone took my my mindset, though, and took it into the weekend. This is going to hit at some point.
It's just hilarious that it happens when you can't pick it for lock of the day. Very unfortunate. All right, just a couple more things here. Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals have resumed talks on a potential extension.
Pathetic from Trey Hendrickson. Stand your ground, dude. Stand your ground. Then don't make this enormous deal of this enormous fuss. I'm never playing for this team again. Terrible organization. Stand your ground, man. Stand on your business. I saw that. I was like, that's ridiculous, man.
All right, last thing. This weekend, the Panthers lost in the UFL championship to the DC Defenders. You see the score of this game?
I was walking around the ballpark and I saw it was like 56-36 or something like that.
58-34 final score. Just blown out in the championship game.
Did you watch any of it?
No, not a second.
I think I probably watched a grand total of 3 seconds.
At least Bryce Perkins won the MVP, right?
I was passing by the TriStar Trust Club up here by the bar during the Loons game. I saw it was on, and I poked up, and I said, what's the score? And I looked at the score. I was like, oh, that doesn't look fun to watch. And I'm glad I didn't watch any of it. And then I came into here and watched the Stanley Cup Finals. It was great. 989-837-6125. Let's get to some of your guys' texts here regarding the Alex Bregman, Aroldis Chapman mega trade that we proposed at the beginning. I guess we didn't actually propose a trade. I just said, Clark, McGonigal, you guys are on the table. I think I've made that pretty clear. We've got Chris in Vegas via Lansing texting in. Here's the thing. Boston and Red Sox Nation don't know how to be sellers, and they have a solid nucleus even with Devers heading out of town. When you consider Duran, Rafaela, Bello, Campbell, Toro, and hopefully get back a healthy Tristan Cassis. But obviously Bregman is the anchor, just saying. So at this point, they're not going to sell?
I kind of agree with this text. I think that them getting off of Devers is like a fresh reset. And even if they aren't that good, like they just cleared up a humongous contract that they can give to somebody via free agency this offseason. Like they're a team that is obviously willing to spend at all times.
Again, I don't think that they're sellers like right now. This is more of a, well, let's say Bregman doesn't come off IL anytime soon. Like he's dealing with a pretty severe quad injury. They don't really know when he's coming back. It seems like 50-50 whether or not he'll be back for the All-Star break or not. So if they are without him and without Devers, those are your two best bats. You can't expect to like stay like to tread water without your two best bats in that division where the Yankees are just going to continue to probably grow a lead in that division. I know Boston just beat the Yankees in a series this weekend, but now you're losing your best bat. You already were without your other best bat. I think it's just a projection for me. Like, hey, if they get in a situation where they're forced to be sellers, especially with two guys who, I know Bregman's not on an expiring contract, but a contract where they might not have him for next season, why wouldn't you move off of him and Chapman, get a ton of assets in return, and still have the capabilities of paying all those guys that the texter just named? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just does, like you said, it depends on how the next month goes for them, because not only are they trailing the Yankees, but they're trailing the Rays and Blue Jays as well.
Yeah. Just putting it out there, the Red Sox are 37-36. So they are above 500 at the moment. Like Kyle said, though, it's just a matter of how the next month and a half goes for the Red Sox to see how much they really blow things up. 989-837-6125. Let us know what you think about it in the YouTube chat as well, and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. All right, so coming up here, we've got our Monday morning stock exchange. We've got some U.S. Open thoughts, and of course our Around the League. That is at 10:15. The stock market exchange. That is next here on the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofframesfest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
Step right up to Lucky Hot Dog Night with the Great Lakes Loons, Thursday, June 19th. Feeling lucky? Golden tickets will be hidden in the wrappers of our hot dogs throughout the game. It's Thirsty Thursday, presented by J.P. O'Sullivan Distributing, with half-off beer all night. And we'll have a post-game fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Calling all royalty. Join the Great Lakes Loons for Princess Night, presented by High Country Jumpers, Saturday, June 21st. The Loons will take the field in magical Moana-inspired jerseys. Stick around after the game for a dazzling fireworks loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. It's a night fit for the whole family. Tickets are selling fast. Visit loons.com before they're gone. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Greenland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesapeake, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the Old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a Two-Hearted Ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, one thing we like to do on Monday here on the Ben Bosscher Show is the Monday morning stock exchange.
You know what? I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
The stock market.
All right, the show goes on. That's right. It's time to make some money here on the Monday morning stock exchange. So, what are we buying? What are we selling our stocks from over the weekend? I will kick us off. I'm going to buy some Ohtani stock, you know? This is something, it's kind of like Netflix or Apple stock, man. You just got to put some cash into these funds once in a while, and you don't even have to think about it. If you monitor it every single day, you'll lose your mind, but I promise, whether it's Netflix, Apple, Amazon, it's just one of those things that you just got to trust in the long run. You're going to make money on it. And Ohtani coming back on the mound today, I don't care what happens on the mound. I'd like to put some more stock into my Ohtani funds, because the time that this guy retires, this thing's going to put me into retirement if I continue to fund this stock on a, I don't know, about a weekly basis, but once in a while, just kind of pushing some money into that fund. And right now seems like a perfect time to do it with him returning to the mound today.
Yeah, it's a really safe thing to invest in, right? It's never really going to fall off. So yeah, I'm cool with that one. I'll start off with a sell. I'm selling my AL Central stock, dude.
Oh, no.
What has happened to this division? Once to referred as the best division in baseball earlier this year, last year set 3 teams to the playoffs. You know the combined record of the division this weekend?
Is it 1-18?
1-14.
1-14? Yeah.
The lone win was Tigers' win on Friday. All the other teams got swept.
Wouldn't that be the time to buy? Or are you're seeing some red flags throughout the division where you don't want any of this?
I guess you could say it would be the time to buy, but like, man, every team is just on a big-time losing streak right now. It might continue. Especially with the Giants just getting Devers. Like, that division is now for sure locked up as the best in the league.
This a little bit feels like a sell on the Tigers as well.
Really? I think the Tigers are just locked up to win the division now, for sure.
Well, if you're selling your stock on the AL Central, it seems like the team that's leading the AL Central you don't feel as good
isn't
about.
That good?
I mean, that's my first thought when you say you're selling AL Central stock. I'm not saying you're wrong, because they had a terrible week, but that is the way it comes across a little bit.
I guess that's fair. Maybe I am selling my Tigers stock. We'll see.
Set a tease for something else. Okay, I am selling my Savannah Banana stock. This is ridiculous, man. They were in Michigan. They were in LMCU ballpark this past weekend in Grand Rapids. It's just ridiculous, man. They're making a mockery of baseball. They're doing all their dances that goes viral before the actual baseball being played. The actual baseball being played, again, is for smooth-minded individuals, man. It's people who don't appreciate the game of baseball, people who don't understand the nuances of the game, people who attention spans are like a goldfish and just scroll all day long. The Savannah Bananas, I'm out on the Savannah Bananas, man. The cutoff jerseys, all of it. I don't like any of it.
I couldn't agree with you more on this take. I will say, I understand the audience for the Savannah Bananas. It's for like kids and people who don't care about actual baseball very much. Like, it's entertaining for those people.
You know what I'd rather watch 10 out of 10 times, though? An actual baseball game.
A regular baseball game.
Yeah, a regular baseball game. Whether it's minor league, major league,
high school,
college, a little league game where I get to watch the parents in the crowd. I'd rather watch any of that than watch the Savannah Bananas dance around third base and on the dugouts to try to get outs. I don't understand the appeal of it. Unless it's solely for people who do not like baseball.
Yes, that's exactly what it's for. And I had a lot of people ask me this, like, oh, I see the Savannah Bananas were in Grand Rapids. Don't care.
I could not care less about the
Yes.
Savannah Bananas. Never want to see. They play the same team every time, right?
I believe
the party
so.
animals.
I don't know 100% on this Savannah Banana stuff. It's that pink team.
Yeah, the party animals. Chunk said in the YouTube
they play
chat.
a team of like goons, dude.
It's the Globetrotters. It's no different than the Globetrotters playing the Generals, and they just blow them out every single day, and they make a mockery of the game of basketball and just tell jokes and the whole time.
Ooh, what's worse? Savannah Bananas or Globetrotters?
Savannah Bananas, dude. It's just I can't stand it, dude. Every time something pops up on my phone in the Savannah Bananas, I go to the 3 little dots in the top right corner. Uninterested in this content. I do not want to see Savannah Bananas content ever pop on. Please show me something that I can actually take and have some useful information on. Show me an MLB highlight. Show me something about the prospect system. Show me something that's actually tangible other than this doofus team that plays the same other doofus team over and over and over again with no actual real incentive other than, woohoo, we had some fun today. It's ridiculous, man.
Woohoo! All right, I'll turn the tide here a little bit. I'll go with a positive thing. I'm buying a crazy NBA offseason, man. We just had an unexpected trade happen before the season was even over. I think we're about to see some crazy stuff go down this offseason trades-wise. No one saw this Desmond Bane trade coming. At least the way that it went down.
No.
Right now, season's not even over.
It makes sense.
Kevin Durant's still got to get traded. I think some crazy stuff's about to happen.
It makes sense that it happened, but in the time it was like, wait, what just happened? And you know that feeling you get when you get to inform you get to basically be Shams or Woj or Schefter or whoever.
Oh, it's the best.
And you get
that's
to be the
me
one
every time, by the way.
Congratulations.
I'm the Shams of my group chat.
I told some people, because we were at the ballpark Sunday morning, and I told some people, and they were like, stop lying. It's like, no, I'm serious. He just got traded for 5 first-round picks. He's on Orlando. And they didn't believe me. That's how crazy that deal sounded originally. And the more I think about it, I think it's totally fine as a deal. But I just thought it was like, yeah, you're right. This is going to be a crazy offseason. Although I'm starting to think Giannis isn't getting traded.
I also agree, but I just think otherwise we're still going to get some unexpected stuff just with all this second apron things going on. And we got the Devers trade. Like, for a weekend that didn't have any NBA games, pretty sweet that we had 2 huge trades.
Oh, you know something that I wanted to do to open up Monday's show, and I've wanted to do this the last 2 weeks, and I've kept forgetting to do it. So this is a reminder to myself and to you that Monday mornings, like the first thing we should spend the first 60 seconds on, we should just 1 to 10. What was this weekend? Was it a good sports weekend or not?
I like that. What was this weekend then? Quickly off the top of your head.
The 2 trades really saved it.
Non-traditional sports going on.
The 2 trades really saved it. The U.S. Open kind of saved it. I'd say like a 7.5.
Sucked.
7.5.
Really? That's kind of high.
Well, I'm selling my Adam Silver stock, speaking of this weekend's games, because there was no games. Why on earth, in the middle of an NBA Finals, do you not have a game on Saturday or Sunday? Instead, you save your games for Friday and Monday of this week. And I get it. It's to line up to where you can finish your entire series on this Sunday if they happen to go to Game 7. What if they don't go to Game 7, Mr. Silver? You just wasted a whole week.
2 days rest for when they switch cities. That's like a
poor timing. It should have been Thursday and Sunday then. Poor management of the schedule.
They played on Wednesday.
So it was Wednesday, Friday. Okay, then
like what else were they supposed to do?
Either way, just then make it Tuesday. Like they should have shifted it, man. You can't go a Saturday and Sunday without playing in an NBA Finals in the middle of your finals.
It sucks when you're also
Makes
game
no
planning
sense.
with the NHL though too. Like you don't want to have those on the same night.
You know what? I do. Go toe to toe with them. Let's put this to bed once and for all.
You know what? I kind of like that.
let's
buy
do
some
it.
stock on that. Okay. I'll throw in a quick one here. I'm selling my stock on umbrellas because of this. This weekend, I was at a softball game. Beautiful day. Sunny. Hot out. There was several people in the crowd with umbrellas as like shade. It's not raining out. Put that umbrella away.
The sun is
You're
our
just
friend.
blocking people's view.
The sun is our friend, man.
Take Ben's advice, buy some stock in sunscreen, and put that umbrella away, dude. It is not raining. You look like a goofball.
I'm actually back out on sunscreen.
What?
I realized like 48 hours after I got that horrific burn that the burn was just gone. And I was like, no, I think these 2 days of suffering.
Once you burn once too, then you're good for the rest of the summer.
Yes. And I was like, I probably won't end up putting sunscreen on this summer. Like,
wow.
But realistically,
selling the
unless I go
sunscreen
back
stock.
to the beach, which probably won't, just because of the schedule of working here at the ballpark, I just don't envision myself putting. Not that I'm like anti sunscreen, but I was like, I'm probably just not going to have the chance to do it. So, wrongfully bought some sunscreen stock. Apparently. All right, that's the Monday morning stock exchange. Maybe we'll get some more a little bit later on. 10 o'clock hour, the U.S. Open. We've got some thoughts. That is next here on the Ben Bosscher Show. 109, the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know the pervasive use of technology can lead to digital eye strain, burning or tired eyes, headaches, fatigue, loss of focus, blurred or double vision. Overexposure light from electronic devices may also increase the likelihood of developing serious eye conditions such as age-related macular degeneration. To give your eyes a rest, remember 20-20-20. Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet away. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington in Freeland.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
When the summer heat is on, keep your cool with Answer Heating and Cooling. Our expert team specializes in fast, reliable air conditioning repairs, installations, and maintenance. Stay comfortable all season long with top-notch cooling solutions and simply outstanding service. Plus, with financing options and special rebates, cooling your home has never been more affordable. Answer Heating and Cooling, where comfort is our priority. Try our new schedule online option or call us today.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm gonna go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we gotta run. Get out. Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
At Sandy Ridge, our completely renovated clubhouse is ready for you. With a brand new full kitchen, a spacious deck, and plenty of room for any event, it's the perfect spot for weddings, parties, or any special gathering. And that's not all. Our whole 16 green has been redesigned and is better than ever. Plus, our greens are the truest around, on par with the top courses, but at a price that fits your budget. Come visit us today at Sandy Ridge and see why we're the perfect choice for your next event.
Some nights are just different. The energy and feeling of being part of something bigger. That's what a Great Lakes Loons group outing is all about.
Whether it's your company, your family, or your best friends, the perfect space is waiting for you at Dow Diamond.
Relax in a private group venue with catering and wait service, or take in the action from a spacious pavilion where an all-you-can-eat buffet and amazing views bring everyone together.
With group packages starting at just $15 per person, it's more than just a game. It's an affordable shared experience at night out.
The best memories start here with your hometown team. Just visit loons.com.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Welcome back in hour number 2 of the Ben Bosscher Show, live on this Monday. Hey, it's supposed to get hot today, man. Finally, feels like summertime here in Michigan. So we just wrapped up our Monday morning stock exchange. Kyle and I agreed during the break. We've got more to get to, so we're going to bring that back up in the 11 o'clock hour. Great segment. YouTube chat really popping off. I didn't know everyone shared these feelings about the Savannah Bananas. Everyone just kind of out on the Savannah Bananas, it feels like. Even though they are going on these stadium tours and selling out they're selling out like college football stadiums. It makes no sense to me.
I'm very surprised by this.
How do you get a stadium full of people to watch fake baseball?
It's a good point.
It's not real. It's not real. But then but it's not just kids, Kyle. There's like full-on grown adults that are like, woohoo! Savannah Banana Ball! Go to a minor league game. Go to a major league game. Go anywhere else. Like, watch a real baseball game. I don't want to. When I go to a baseball game, the last thing I want to see is players in cutoffs all dancing in a circle the whole entire course of the game, or in the batter's box for that matter.
Yeah, you might as well just go to the circus if you want to watch something like this, you know? Oh, a flip, a backflip.
Yeah, I'm out on it. But someone said in the chat that they're adding teams to the league. Okay. Whatever.
Whoever said that, why do you know this much about the Savannah Banana League? You're too invested.
I'd like to stop talking about the Savannah Bananas now, so let's do that. So this weekend, Kyle and I now both certified. Well, maybe you've been. I haven't been. Now I consider myself certified golf guy. Right. And this weekend, U.S. Open going on. I said on Friday, I just cannot believe how difficult this course is. And somehow it got more difficult as the weekend went on with the rain delays. And then they started playing the 2008 U.S. Open with Tiger. And that was arguably more entertaining than anything that happened during the actual U.S. Open. With how difficult it became on Sunday, all the guys at the top of the leaderboard end up crashing out. You've got J.J. Spaun, who was kind of had a firm grasp of the lead the first 2 days. It looked like he was kind of falling out of the picture. Once he hit the flagpole, what hole was that on? It was on Sunday.
That was on like hole 2, I believe, 2 or 3.
Yeah, he hits the flagpole and it just
that was ridiculous.
It just never stopped rolling, and I was like, "This is the worst golf ever." You've got Rory McIlroy just crashing out, breaking gloves. I heard another guy ended up breaking a locker in the locker room or wherever they all hang out. Like, it's certified golf guy, remember? So I just couldn't believe how difficult this was. And I guess my overall take on it was I don't think they should ever play there again. I'm out on golf being played at Oakmount.
I think that's fair. I think the golfers would agree with you, right? I mean, there was a clip of Shane Lowry as he was putting that he just said, F this place, as he was putting. Hot Mike caught it. Like, they clearly didn't enjoy being there.
No, Rory said after the game, I just didn't even really want to be here this week. Like, you can't have your golfers saying that about this course, any of the courses you play on while you're on tour.
I think it was kind of cool as a fan, like as a consumer of the sport, to see like how difficult it is. Because sometimes when guys are just, the U.S. Open last year, Bryson wins at like 24 under, 23 under, something like that. Mm-hmm. That's fun to watch, but that happens more frequently than this. J.J. Spaun was the only guy to shoot under par on the entire weekend. And it took him sinking the longest putt of the weekend to go under par.
Somewhat uneventful cool. Final day, but
very uneventful final day.
But that last putt, I think, even though he was going to win it anyway, unless he like really choked, that last putt was pretty epic. A great close to the weekend. But I was thinking about it as I was walking around. I was going on a power walk around Midland. I got back right when Spaun and Hovland were on hole 16. I was probably walking around for a good hour. And I was thinking about it. I was like, of all the people that listen to our show or watch our show on YouTube, and then I was just like, screw it. Anyone in this region of the state, are any of them shooting under plus 30 on that course? And absolutely not, was my conclusion. There's not one person listening right now or in our listener base, like Saginaw, Midland,
really? So
Bay
not
City.
Even like the golf club at Northwood or like...
None of them. I don't think there's anyone listening or has the ability to be listening right now. I guess anyone has the ability to listen because live on YouTube. Shout out. But I just highly doubt there's anyone in our region that can shoot a plus 30 on it, because we had professional golfers that made the cut that ended up shooting plus 26. These are guys that made the cut and couldn't stay under 30. So if there's anyone out there listening, it's like, oh, I could have some success on that. No, you couldn't. That has to be the most difficult golf course in the country. And if the professionals are struggling on it that bad, not a chance. Anyone, like the fact that we even brought up on whatever day that was, could either of us make the cut if we just dropped on the green? The answer is no.
Yes, for this course, the answer is
absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. I do not like the golf being played at Oakmount was my big takeaway. And my other big takeaway was JJ Spaun. Does this count as a real win?
Ooh.
I don't know if it does. He gets his major, first ever, congratulations. No one's going to be able to take that away from him. But I'm not all of a sudden, buying JJ Spaun stock. You know what I mean? There's a reason he wasn't in my buyers for the stock market exchange that we did. If JJ Spaun, if to me, he's just a random who happened, not a random, but guy who happens to win it.
He is a random.
A little bit. Guy who happens to win it in just these weird conditions. Is he actually deserving of the win? Yeah, probably. But it's also the circumstances were just so weird this weekend that I'm almost willing to just be nah, whatever. Okay, cool. Now I know JJ Spawn's won a U.S. Open, has won a major. He got his first. But am I suddenly picking him going into the next major? No.
Right.
Not at all. I don't know if it actually... It's not that it doesn't count. It's that I don't know if I view him any differently,
See, I had the opposite approach coming into this. I thought that there was no way a random would win this event because of how hard the course was. It would have to take... But I guess it takes away the superpower a lot of the top-tier golfers, right? A guy like Bryson who can drive it farther than anybody. It takes away his power because of all the bunkers in this and how the greens work. And so I guess... I was wrong coming into this as far as who had the ability to win. I thought there was no way a random would win this. Not saying JJ's random, but I figured he'd be one of the favorites, essentially, to win. And obviously, that is not at all what happened.
I just don't think... What's the next event? You're a certified golf guy. I guess maybe I'm not.
The next major, the British Open is the final major.
Yeah, I'm not all of a sudden being oh, JJ's hot. JJ Spaun, season continues. Year continues. To me, it was just a drop in the bucket of just a random moment, a random golf event. Especially with the rain, man. That really screwed up that course. Yeah, the rain really
capped things
Sunday.
Off.
But yeah.
Just bad, man.
I enjoyed the experience, though, other than, feeling for, I guess I didn't feel for the guys, but I just kept putting myself in their shoes. It would take me hours and hours and hours to get through 9 on that course.
Quite uneventful major, though, because there was no ability for somebody to make a crazy comeback because you just can't.
Nope.
The only way you could is if a guy at the top really fell off, which both Sam Burns and Adam Scott did do. But JJ Spaun just kind of played solid the entire weekend. Never had a blow-up day, and it won him the whole thing.
Yeah. Ends up shooting -1.
Yeah.
On the entire... One guy goes under par. That's not the kind of golf I want to see,
That doesn't happen either. That, but that's why I think it's kind of cool. This doesn't happen. Guys don't play this bad.
If I wanted to watch guys play this bad, I'd just go to one of our golf courses around here.
Yeah, I just tape my own golf.
Yeah,
and watch
it. You know where I'd go? I'd actually go to Apple Mountain. It is officially golf season, and if you're like me, you're looking for new places to play. Golfers, look no further. Apple Mountain in Freeland, where every round comes with a side of scenic perfection. Championship-level courses, beautifully maintained, and the right mix of challenge and fun. I promise you, it's not as challenging as Oakmount, though. Thank God. And when you're wrapping up 18, head to Apple Mountain Restaurant, the perfect place for casual elegance and spectacular views. Whether you're playing for score or just soaking up the atmosphere, Apple Mountain is your place to unwind, recharge, and enjoy the game. Apple Mountain in Freeland, minutes away, but miles from ordinary. We'll take a trip around the league when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on a Monday in Michigan here on 100.9 The Mitt, and here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, do that. Do it now. All right, we're on the league next.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, sports fans heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh. Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at premiertilestone.com.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
The new rebranded Matt Smith Modern Realty.
Well, Matt Smith Outdoors was really reflective of how I started my real estate journey, taking my outdoor experience, moving that into the real estate space to help people buy and sell land. So many people in this region ended up calling me and wanting me to work with them to help them buy and sell homes. This new brand was more reflective of what I'm delivering to people in this region every day.
Make every trip to Dow Diamond unforgettable with a Great Lakes Loons ticket package. Choose a 5-game or 10-game plan and enjoy priority seating, food and drink credits, and exclusive discounts on merchandise. Want even more? Go for a bronze, silver, or gold membership and get the VIP treatment. Bigger discounts, exclusive events, bonus food and drink credit, or free parking. Great games, great perks, and great memories with your hometown team. Starting with something as small as a 5-game plan at $62. Visit loons.com to secure your package today.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show right here on 100.9 The Mitt, live on YouTube as well. Something we do every show is take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, Kyle, what do you got cooking up today? Because you texted me last night and said, I've got an idea. I said, cook.
Okay. Let me cook then. All right, so obviously we've had mini camps going on in the NFL. So we got some spicy, off-season stuff to talk about. So Bleacher Report did top 5 riskiest moves of the 2025 NFL offseason. And I'm going to name them to you, and I want you to say how risky they really are, if you think they're going to work out or not.
Am I doing like 1 to 10, or am I just reacting?
However you want to do it, man. I'll leave it up to you.
Okay.
All right, let's start things off. Number 5, the Jaguars trading up for Travis Hunter. This is obviously a big move. You could say it was risky for Cleveland to move down, but they're going from the Jaguars' perspective here. I think I know where you land with this one on a risk scale, but let me know.
The risk is he doesn't end up being a two-way player. And if he doesn't end up being a two-way player, what they gave up was simply not worth it. Do you have it pulled up in front of you? What they gave up?
Like what they gave up?
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave up the 5th pick, the 36th pick, so the top 2nd-round pick, and then their first next year.
Yeah, that's too much.
That's a lot.
That's too much to ask for if he's only going to play one way. They don't plan on playing him one way. Jacksonville, I think, was one of the only teams that truly was set on playing this guy both ways right from the jump. They want to treat him like a superstar, and they should. It's Jacksonville. They're in a small market. They have to get eyes on them somehow. Bring in the megastar that now all of a sudden you are in the national spotlight way more than you ever have been. I don't think this is as much of a risk because I believe in Travis Hunter as someone who can play two ways. I think we have to see it not be able to work out before we just assume it's not going to work out. let's push the boundaries on what's possible. I think that this guy's the best corner that got drafted. I think he's the best wide receiver that got drafted. And if he can turn into both of those things for Jacksonville, then I don't think this was a risk. It was a calculated risk, but I think the risk is going to pay off if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, you don't trade up for him if you don't plan on using him to his full potential. And they obviously do. I will say, too, giving up the first next year, that division sucks, dude. Like, there's no way that Jacksonville is as bad as they were last year, right?
No. I don't think that division sucks.
And obviously giving up a first, the division does suck.
It's not good, but there's two teams that...
What division is worse? That's the worst division in football. Easily.
I'm not huge on the NFC
South
West.
Isn't great, but...
NFC West and NFC South, doesn't really do it for me.
Okay.
I would rank... You said there's 5 you have?
Yes.
I'm going to blindly rank this one 5th.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what Bleacher Report has it ranked as well, so just copying them, I guess, yeah. All right, next. Cowboys trading for George Pickens. Steelers obviously moving off of Pickens for several reasons. One, because he's due for a new contract. 2, because they traded for DK and paid him. And 3, because Pickens is just a loose cannon, to say the least. And now he's in Dallas, who has a history of not paying their guys.
What'd they give up? It's like a second?
I think a third.
A third? Okay. I think this is a calculated risk as well because, yes, he's a little bit of a hothead, but Dallas needed a second weapon. If they're going to elect to not have a running back, they needed to go get someone other than CeeDee Lamb because there was just way too much expectation and pressure on him from a week-to-week basis. The production was just at an unsustainable level. Hey, we're going to force feed you the ball this much. And he's a talented enough player for it to happen. But if you want your guy to survive and actually your offense to be a bigger threat in general rather than just have your star put up crazy numbers, you need another weapon in there. You got another guy who's very different than CD. CD's one of those guys that I think can kind of just do a little bit of everything, and that's what makes him such a superstar. But George Pickens has one very specific skill set, and that is to catch jump balls downfield and get in fights with anyone and everyone in sight. And
pick up unsportsmanlike conduct penalties left and right.
Yes, exactly. So I think it's a good 1-2 punch. Whether or not Dak can utilize them, I guess, is to be determined. I don't really recall Dak ever playing with a weapon like this, like a go throw him some jump balls type of guy. CD's usually wide open. George Pickens is not. I'm not the biggest George Pickens fan. I would prefer my receivers to just get open rather than have to just make these wild catches. But if they only gave up a third, and they're not going to pay. I don't know. I don't love this for Dallas.
Yeah, are they going to pay him?
I think they got to worry about paying Micah first. Has anyone checked on Jerry Jones? Because it feels like this guy's just like he has been for a decade, just out of control. No one knows what this guy's plan is ever. He's just irrationally doing things. I don't hate it for Dallas, but I think it just leads to more problems down the road. This is like hey, we're all in on this season. Newsflash, you're not one of the 3 best teams in the conference.
My thing is, like, what is the ceiling? Like, what is it really worked out for George Pickens?
What is?
It's much more of a risk than reward, for sure.
Yeah, how much does this really make Dallas better?
Exactly. Even if Pickens goes 1,000 yards and is a nice compliment to their offense, it doesn't make them the best team in their division.
Or the second best team in their division, for that matter.
Right. This brings much more risk than reward to me.
Yeah, I wish I could have ranked this.
And you have to pay him.
I should have ranked it 5th.
Well, you're ranking this on a risk factor.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to go
one would be the most
second.
risky.
I'll go second.
Okay, second. All right, let's move on to another receiver. Patriots bet on Stephon Diggs as their number 1 receiver. Obviously signed that 3-year, $63.5 million deal. And then Artie's had some situations this offseason, but more importantly, he's coming off of a torn ACL, which is pretty detrimental for a 31-year-old receiver.
I just don't envision this working out, to be honest. I think you're getting a player who's obviously on the back end of his career, but you're paying him like, I don't want to say prime. You're not paying him like he's washed, though. There's that middle ground. I don't expect that much from Diggs. And when he comes back, since they basically elected to not go get another 1A receiver, he's going to get fed the ball a ton. I think that, makes him even more likely for another injury. In an ideal world, Stephon Diggs at this point in his career is a wide receiver too. And we saw that last season in Houston, and it was working out well before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that they're going to rely on him even more, I don't like this for the Patriots. I think Mike Vrabel coming along will stabilize things. Them drafting a running back hopefully increases the run game, which was at the bottom of the league last year. But I don't know, maybe this ends up being a by committee type of thing, similar to the way the Chiefs have done it, the Bills have done it, need a superstar. Is Drake May ready to take that on, though, to where he doesn't have a wide receiver one? Probably not. That's the unfortunate part about this. The problem is all these other receivers on this team suck. Like Jalen Polk and Booty and these guys
Kyle Williams they drafted.
I like Kyle Williams, and that's kind of the
Mario Douglas.
He sucks.
He's fine. Whoa, he sucks. Okay.
I like Williams, but he's a small guy. He's like your slot guy. So you're really banking on him to turn into something. I guess I'll put this. I don't think there's a ton of risk in it, but I just don't think this is going to pay off.
Like, you paid this guy.
But how much is actually guaranteed?
How is there not a lot of risk in this? He's 31 coming off a torn ACL.
Because what are the consequences if he stinks, though?
Then you just are stuck with this terrible contract?
Yeah, but it's not like the Patriots are tight on cap space. They've got the rookie quarterback. That's the thing. They had to spend it. And there's also... it gets increasingly more expensive.
It's a bad contract.
It's a bad contract. The most expensive year is the final year. Man, I'm going to have to put this one.
I think this is like a humongous risk.
I'm putting this one. I guess I didn't realize how backloaded the contract was.
And I get you have to perform while Drake May's on his rookie contract as far as paying other guys. But there's so many different routes you could have taken, right?
Wait, hold on. There's only $25 million of this guaranteed. If you cut him after 26, it's $8 million in dead cap, which is a lot. And if you cut him in 27, it's only $4 million in dead cap. This is, to me, only a 2-year contract. It's not an actual long-term commitment. But still, the ceiling's not very high for this. But again, you had to spend the money, so I guess I don't disagree with them just being whatever, we'll just overpay to get him in the building because we've got the money to spend.
Even if he's good, what does it change?
That's a good point. Probably not a whole lot.
So you're keeping it 1 or you're moving it to 3?
I'm going to put it 3.
Okay.
We've already gone 10 minutes on this?
I know, isn't that crazy? I'll restart it.
Yeah, play the music again.
The Pittsburgh Steelers bet their 2025 season on Aaron Rodgers.
That has to be 1 because it's the stupidest thing that has happened here in the NFL offseason. Pittsburgh trying to be cute with it, not draft a quarterback, and ended up taking the likes of Aaron Rodgers. I think everyone that is listening knows how I feel about Aaron Rodgers, how destructive he can be to a franchise, how much of a plague he has been. That to me has no payoff. I sold all my stock on it. I think Pittsburgh isn't making the playoffs this season, and this is the year they go below 500. So with that being said, Pittsburgh, that has to be the riskiest move because there is no upside. You're not making the playoffs, and your downside is being the worst team in the NFL.
There's no
one
upside?
Of the Jets were. Yes. Yeah, there's no upside. The Jets went through this exact same thing last year, and how did it work out for them?
The Jets also have the longest active playoff drought in the NFL. The Pittsburgh Steelers are consistently a good team.
I think you could make an argument the Jets have a better foundation and roster than Pittsburgh does right now, though. It's not all that far off.
I don't know if I can get behind that.
I'm still putting it 1.
Is Rodgers the best QB post Big Ben?
To be determined, but I don't think he's way better than any of these other guys at this point in his career.
Yeah.
They
would have been better off keeping Russ or Fields. I do agree with that. All right, so you're putting this 1?
Yeah.
All right, so stuck at number 4 is the Seahawks betting everything on Sam Darnold. This is what Bleach Report put as number 1 in their article.
See, I don't think this is super risky. I just don't understand the direction that Seattle's attempting to go. It's hey, we had this bridge quarterback in Geno Smith. Nobody would consider him a franchise guy that we believe we can win a Super Bowl with. So let's move on. I totally understand that thinking, but you replaced him with another quarterback that basically is in the exact same category as that of, hey, really good guy, is going to help us win some games here in the regular season. Can we win 3 straight games with him? Probably not. And then you signed him to a 3-year deal. It's like, congratulations, you just got another Geno Smith in the building. I don't think this is risky, so I guess I'm fine with it being 4. It's just a matter of I don't understand what Seattle's attempting to do here. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think there still is a genuine question of is Sam Darnold even good? You know?
Yeah, I think.
Or was this just a 1-year really good situation type of thing? I
think he's good. I just don't think you can rattle him very easily. You can rattle Goff. We saw it in the playoffs. You can get to him. Right. It has the ability to spiral pretty quickly when things. Is
Darnold even better than Geno?
I don't think so.
Right. I get he's younger, but
yeah, that's the thing. He's younger.
Interesting play. At least I got Jalen Milroe as a backup option, right?
Tush push city. Here we come. All right, that's gonna do it for around the league. Good stuff there, Kyle. Good stuff as always. Next, should the Pistons break the bank and trade for this all-star big that Michiganders know very well? That is next year. The payoff. There it is. The Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Bucks Run Golf Club is an award-winning 18-hole championship golf course. The Quarry Grill offers a casual, fine dining restaurant with a patio overlooking the course and scenic Lake Fisher. Bucks Run's centralized location makes it a convenient day trip from anywhere in Michigan. Explore the custom play and stay golf packages featuring 11 course options and 9 lodging options, which now include the cottages at Bucks Run. Just 20 minutes from Dow Diamond off M20 in Mount Pleasant. Bucks Run, a proud member of the Fisher Companies. Learn more at bucksrun.com.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text CLEAN CAR to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Step right up to Lucky Hot Dog Night with the Great Lakes Loons, Thursday, June 19th. Feeling lucky? Golden tickets will be hidden in the wrappers of our hot dogs throughout the game. It's Thirsty Thursday, presented by J.P. O'Sullivan Distributing, with half-off beer all night. And we'll have a post-game fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Calling all royalty. Join the Great Lakes Loons for Princess Night, presented by High Country Jumpers, Saturday, June 21st. The Loons will take the field in magical Moana-inspired jerseys. Stick around after the game for a dazzling fireworks loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. It's a night fit for the whole family. Tickets are selling fast. Visit loons.com before they're gone. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt. Live on YouTube. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Live on 100.9 The Mitt as well. 989-837-6125. That is how you get a hold of us here with the Mitt messages. All right, Kyle, there was an NBA bomb yesterday. Before the season even ends, we're getting big-time trades. Desmond Bane on the move to Orlando for 5 first-round picks. And everyone in the NBA world immediately starts going to, well, are the Memphis Grizzlies attempting to blow this thing up? And then everyone's, around here's second thought, at least around here, people who love this Detroit Pistons team, the thought process is, well, if they're going to blow things up, should the Pistons be in the market for Jaren Jackson Jr., someone who's consistently in the conversation to win a Defensive Player of the Year, someone who's consistently in the All-Star game and making all defensive teams. Didn't quite make an All-NBA team this season, but at least in the conversation too. With Ja Morant, missing a lot of time the last few years for injury purposes, for other purposes, Jaren Jackson has been a stabilizing force for that Memphis team. Brings some, obviously, defensive versatility too. Brings some shot creating that the Pistons don't really have outside of Cade Cunningham. Is someone that you can kind of just give the ball and say, hey, you're going to need to go get us a bucket. And you look around this Eastern Conference that we've talked about a handful of times, pretty weak going into the year despite Orlando just getting a lot better. There's a lot of reasons that point to, if you're the Pistons, you should do this. But you think about what Orlando gave up to get someone like Desmond Bane in basically 5 first-round picks. And for that to work for Jaren Jackson Jr., you're probably looking for either more than that, or you have to throw in a Duren or a Sarr. Obviously, one of those guys is probably going to have to be in it. But if it was like even Tobias Harris, Duren, and 3 firsts, is that even enough to get a Triple J, knowing what Desmond Bane just went for? Because I think Duren's a better prospect, or not prospect, but like an asset than anything that the players got, or anything that Memphis got back in terms of players for Desmond Bane. What was it? It was Anthony
Agreed.
Black and KCP.
Duren's it was just Cole Anthony and KCP.
Oh, yeah, not Anthony Black, sorry. Cole Anthony and KCP. Duren's better asset than either of those guys. You throw in Tobias to make it match for salary purposes, but is that even enough to throw in another 3 picks? And the Pistons just got their pick back. So basically, all their picks back, and they're not making a pick this year. So basically, you'd give up 3 firsts and not have your pick this year as well. Is that even enough?
And like, how valuable are the Pistons picks even? Like, I know the Magic picks aren't that valuable either, but they had that Suns pick to throw in. Mm-hmm. That's a super valuable pick that Memphis just picked up for next season. I think that it is different because of the contract situations. The reason why Memphis would be trading Jaren is because he's up for a new deal. He's on the final year of his contract this season. Whereas Desmond Bane is locked up. So does that make Jaren less valuable because whoever trades for him has to pay him? And obviously, if he signs a contract now, it's going to be worth much more than the Desmond Bane contract is because he signed it a year ago.
I'm glad you asked, because Jaren Jackson Jr. is due for an extension. He's got 1 year left on his contract. And the max contract at this moment would be $54 million. That'd be a top 5 salary in the NBA. That's what he would be projected to make if he were to get this extension. Is he one of the 5 best players?
From someone.
He will get it from someone. Is he one of the 5 best players in the NBA? No. But that's just kind of how this is working now, with the way that the salary cap is increasing by 10% every single season, and these players deserving and getting more and more money because the max contract is based on 30% of the cap. So if the cap continues to go up, these players are making this crazy amount of money. If he were to get traded to the Pistons, make an All-NBA team, then he's eligible for the Supermax, and his contract could be $69 million per season, which would, in fact, be the highest paid player in the league. Now, by the time that actually happens, probably like someone else will get paid and become...
Probably wouldn't be a top 10 guy in the league.
Right. It's like how we've talked about with Goff and Amon-Ra. Like, yeah, highest paid at the time, and then by the time the contract's 2 years in, you're 6th on the list of receivers being paid. So it's a situation like that, but nonetheless, that is a lot of money for a guy that comes in and has issues of his own, right? Nonstop fouler, gets himself into foul trouble every single night. Nonetheless, like a guy who comes in and stabilizes the offense. So there's pros and cons of this, but I think I ultimately am still going to land on the let's just stay consistent. No need to make a big move this offseason. I think you're still a year away from making the big move. I want to see what happens with Ivy and Cade. And that's the other thing. If you trade for Triple J and get off Duren, yeah, your lob threat's still there. It's an upgrade without a doubt. You can play him and Stu together, or you can move Jaren Jackson to the 5. Like, there's some position versatility there too that on paper is great. But you still have the Ivy situation that you run into, and then all of a sudden it's Cade at Triple J, and you probably can't pay Jaden Ivey. And if you do, you certainly aren't going to be able to play Asar or Ron Holland, because there's basically a hard cap now in the NBA with the new collective bargaining agreement. I think I'm ultimately, for right now, out on this trade. You?
I'm out because I think it's worth, like, he goes for more than what you're proposing.
That's another part of it, yeah.
I think it's 2 of the Pistons' young guys. It's Ivy, Holland, Duren. It's 2 of those 3. Asar, we're taking off the table, assuming the Pistons will not move him.
I hope not.
It's 2 of the 3 of Ivy, Duren, Holland, and it's likely Holland plus one of the other 2 because Ivy and Duren are both due for extensions. I'm also out on this because I don't see Memphis trading Jaren. I almost see them trading Bane as like an excuse to pay Jaren now, right? You didn't want to have a big 3 of Bane, Jaren, Morant paying the luxury tax.
No, because you're not going anywhere.
Exactly. Whereas the Magic are now paying the tax to have 4 guys that are being paid. Where Memphis had just those 3, it's not worth it. So I think that they are going to keep him and pay him. However, if he does become available, I would love for the Pistons to get in talks. Like, this is the type of trade that makes much more sense than going to get an aging vet like Kevin Durant that's been talked about, which obviously isn't going to happen. This makes much more sense. A guy that can grow with this young core and already is an established, really good player in the NBA. Like, a duo of Cade and Jaren is a ton of fun.
And someone that you can at least put on Giannis. Because that's just something you have to consider when you're in the Eastern Conference, assuming Giannis will still be in the Eastern Conference.
Hey, Jaren, we're all good. We got Isaiah Stewart.
Come on, man. I love Isaiah Stewart, but Isaiah Stewart has been owned by Giannis for 3 to 4 years now. Like, the Pistons have had no answer for Giannis for years, and no one really has. But the Pistons specifically don't have a person to throw onto Giannis. And Jaren Jackson Jr. probably fouls out of any game where he has to guard Giannis for that long. But at least you have a body to throw at him, right? That would be another reason to do it. And as I'm laying this out, it feels like there are more pros to this than not. My biggest con is you have to pay him, and then all of a sudden you're going to have to start making decisions before you even really know who you have in Ivy and Duren. You're probably moving off of Duren if you're going to trade a guy like Triple J. And it's not that I'm so attached to Duren. It's more so, well, if you give Triple J this max, which it's not like you can be like, hey, you're going to take less than that? No, he's not going to take less than that. And you're already giving Cade a max. It's like, okay, cool. What happens if Asar blossoms? Like, you kind of don't really have any money to pay him. What happens if Ivy blossoms?
Also, what happens if Asar doesn't blossom? Then you're just locked into Cade and Jaren. Like, you don't have the flexibility to make other moves from a cap standpoint.
Exactly. And
is that team winning a championship?
And with 3 years left on the contract, I don't know how tradable that really is. If he's the highest paid player in the league, like, no one's one of the highest paid players in the league. No one's
the idea
just,
of it
running to take that contract on.
The idea is fun. The logistics of it makes it a no.
The new collective bargaining agreement, man, has made it so difficult to make these trades happen. But with that being said, we're buying some stock in a crazy NBA summer, and that still feels like it's happening. Hell, by the end of the show, Kevin Durant could be on a new team. That just seems like it's happening here in the next week. So I'm excited. We'll keep us in lock with that. But both of us out on the idea of bringing in Jaren Jackson. Not out on the idea, but out on actually making it happen. It just seems a little bit unrealistic at this point.
I would agree. It seems unrealistic.
I like how we've done this with a handful of different players. Like, hey, would the Pistons? And every single time my answer's been no. Stay course.
Yeah, so who is one that would make you say yes? Because you still have the Tobias deal that you can trade.
You do, but like I kind of am just okay with rolling into the season and treating the Jaden Ivey addition as the move this offseason. You don't have to give up.
Tobias's $26 million expire, and then you just can't use that money.
Well, you can move him at the deadline to upgrade. It's what the Pacers did last year to bring in a guy like Siakam. Like that, I think that's the move to make, where you don't have to like break the bank and make some blockbuster deal the second one guy becomes available. But it's like, hey, this really good player who's not necessarily viewed as like this super duper star like Pascal Siakam suddenly is available. Okay, let's go get him. And it's not something you have to break the bank to go do. I just worry about the Pistons using up all their first round picks to make a move too early and then not having another move to make to get over the hump. Because you right now you have to be so calculated with the move you're going to make. Like when you want to pull the trigger on the move that helps you get over the hump, the move that Orlando just made, the move that the Pacers did last year with Siakam, you better be real confident you're getting over that hump. And I guess I'm not 100% locked into the Pistons being quite there yet. I think they're really close. But if you make that move and you don't get over the hump, you're screwed for a long time because you won't have picks and you'll have a bad contract.
We're about to find that out with Orlando because they're paying the luxury tax, don't have a lot of their picks anymore, and gave away their most valuable asset in that Phoenix pick. So this could be like almost a test run for the Pistons. See how this goes.
Yeah. Good stuff. 989-837-6125. We'll still get to the stock exchange to wrap up. We did that a little bit in the 9 o'clock hour, but we've still got more to get to. And then who do you have in Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight? Should the Tigers make a massive bombshell of a trade? We'll lead the 11 o'clock hour with that. Stay tuned. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland. It seems like every time the Tigers get closer and closer to being healthy, another setback comes with another injury. We obviously know the Jackson Jobe news that occurred last week. And this weekend, one of their best guys out of the pen, Will Vest, bulletproof Vest as they've been calling him, left the game with an injury. We don't know the current status on it, but it did not look great. And it's scary for a Tigers team that already has some question marks in the bullpen outside of Will Vest and Tommy Kahnle. Reese Olson and Matt Vierling, we learned this weekend, are nearing return. But with the potential injury or time missed with Will Vest, it makes not only bullpen arm more of a need, but another high leverage bullpen guy, because right now the Tigers were in a spot where they had two high leverage guys that you trusted at the end of games. It seemed like a left-handed guy out of the pen was the major need for Detroit. But if Will Vest is going to miss any sort of time, man, it puts a lot of pressure on Tommy Kahnle because there isn't another guy out of that pen that you really trust in the 8th or 9th inning outside of Kahnle right now. And we've discussed the needs for the Tigers at the deadline. We're still over a month and a half away from that. Left side of the infield, a right-handed bat, that's a need. Starting pitching was tossed around a little bit. But at the end of the day, you can never use enough bullpen guys, and especially if Will Vest is going to miss any time, that's going to be the big need for Detroit here shortly. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9. The Mitt. This month's recipient is Kari Kiefer from Freeland High School. With a 3.97 GPA, Kari is a three-sport athlete competing in cross-country, track, and basketball. Kari is a leader on the floor and talked on what she thinks makes an effective leader.
I think to be a great leader, you have to be able to hold each other accountable, like being able to give constructive criticism, but also a positive with it. Anytime I kind of talk with my teammates, I try to give them a positive if I'm going to give them a negative too, just to kind of balance it out and keep that relationship strong.
Kari scored over 1,500 points in her 4 seasons at Freeland. She'll continue her basketball and academic career at Northwood University. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Now, wait a second, Jaren. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
Calling all royalty. Join the Great Lakes Loons for Princess Night, presented by High Country Jumpers. Saturday, June 21st. The Loons will take the field in magical Moana-inspired jerseys. Stick around after the game for a dazzling fireworks loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. It's a night fit for the whole family. Tickets are selling fast. Visit loons.com before they're gone. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loons staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. Ben Bosscher Show live on YouTube and 100.9 The Mitt in the Great Lakes Bay region. Kyle, we've got Game 5 of the NBA Finals on tonight. I do not care what the ratings come out to be. I know for the first few games they've been not historically low, but in terms of recent history, pretty historically low. I don't care about any of that. This has been a magnificent NBA Finals through 4 games. And I think we get some more great action tonight. These teams are so evenly matched, and they've thrown such great punches at each other in each game that this has almost felt like a boxing fight, right? In Game 1, the Thunder are in control most of the time. This is round 1 of the fight. The guy who's the heavy favorite in control, and then right at the end, boom, sucker punch, drops him, wins round 1. Round number 2, the Thunder come back. The guy whoever's favored, let's just say it's Mike Tyson, and say just dominates. All right, probably 1-1 in terms of the rounds. Then Game 3 rolls around, and the underdog in this situation, the Pacers, just has the round of its life. Right, dominates, and all of a sudden gets Mike Tyson, or the favorite, the boxer, on his heels a little bit, to where it's like, oh, we have to take this team a little bit more seriously. Like, I'm not a giant underdog. Like, we respect our opponent now. And it looked like Game 4, the Pacers were really about to like, hey, you guys are done. We smell blood in the water. We stole your confidence and your swagger, and now we're going to push you down the stairs. And it was the Thunder who responded and had a great close to the round, or had a great fourth quarter in terms of the basketball. And now we're going into round 5 tonight. I cannot wait. This has been such a great series. For you to say the Pacers don't have a chance to win it now, I think would be naive. It's pretty cliche to say whoever wins Game 5 wins the series, but it really does feel like this is one of the more pivotal Game 5s I can remember in a long time.
I won't say that the Pacers don't have a chance, but man, them not coming out with Game 4 is going to be detrimental.
That was it right there.
The series.
That was it. They could have won the series basically that day. And Shea basically admitted to it after the game. He's like, yeah, we know that we understood going into the game the difference between going down 3-1 and being tied 2-2 going back home.
Yeah, of course.
Like he all but said we saved our season yesterday, which
it's
they
happened
did.
one time ever.
Right.
A team come back from 3-1 and winning. Like, the Pacers needed to pull that game out because I do think that the Thunder now, after that was a win that they hadn't had yet in this series, where Indiana was in control the entire way, and the Thunder were the team that clawed back and won, whereas the Pacers have been that comeback team throughout this entire playoff run. The Thunder getting that game, I think, wins them the series. I don't know if it's in 6 or 7. I'm still picking the Thunder to win. They're 9.5-point favorites tonight.
Crazy.
But, man, the Pacers really needed to win that game if they wanted to win the series.
I think the Thunder winning tonight basically locks up the series, unfortunately. If the Pacers win tonight, I think it still can go either way. But if the Thunder are able to pull this thing out, even if they head back to Indiana, for them to have 2 chances to try to basically just have to win 2 of the next 3 games, well, it'd be 1 of the next 2 if they were to win tonight. I don't know if the Pacers are able to come back from that. The Pacers just have to come out tonight with the same mindset they had coming out of Game 3, or the same way they started Game 4, I guess, is how I'm trying to say that. We know we're the better team. We believe in ourselves. You have to forget about what happened at the end of Game 4. Because, again, they made the Thunder look like the team that didn't belong on the court, the team that didn't believe in themselves for the majority of Game 4. The Pacers had more swagger. They played more confidence. They believed in who they were more and their style of basketball more. And they viewed this Thunder team and didn't really view them as a juggernaut anymore. Didn't really view them as a team that is minus 700-point favorites. I think they looked down on him for the majority of that game in Game 4 until Shea got to the free throw line a ton in the fourth quarter and ended up pulling it out. And the Pacers struggled to get some good shots off down the end of that stretch. But if the Pacers come out flat again, it's probably just over. Not only the game, but the series. Like they have to instill that confidence. And the thing I liked about Tyrese Haliburton after Game 4 was I don't think he was shaken by it, despite them not being able to score down the stretch. And obviously that falls on him because not only is he hunting all these magnificent shots down the stretch of games, but he's just getting his teammates open for the most part. Didn't end up working out in Game 4, but not in a corny way, not in a cheesy way. He's giving his teammates high fives as they're going back to the locker room and saying, we're good. Don't worry about it. So for that reason, I think the Pacers, I like that plus 9.5 tonight. It's not going to be my lock of the day later, but I do think they keep this thing close and we get another classic game tonight down to the wire because most of the games so far in the finals, 3 of the 4 games have come down right to the end. Good. And I don't know why that would be different tonight.
I don't know if I can get behind it. I just think that the Thunder coming back and winning that game in Game 4, it was the series almost. I'm not saying the Pacers can't win, but man, we hadn't seen the Thunder do that yet. Be the comeback kids. And now that they have done that, they've won in every style. And I know the Pacers have too, but when it's one better team that has now won in every way, I think the Thunder win tonight, and I think they win in 6.
You know what the ironic part about this series is the Thunder made all those moves before the first game even started, right? Hey, they changed their starting lineup. They wanted to go small, and then they kind of resorted back to, no, we're going to go back to who we've been for 82-plus games, and I think that ended up working out for them. But the Pacers haven't really made this giant move yet, and I almost don't think they have to. This is like 2 teams that are staying true to who they are, on brand for the basketball that they want to play, which is so anti what everyone thinks the NBA is of just run up and down the court and shoot as many threes as humanly possible. That's not really how either of these 2 teams play. And for that reason, I think, I don't know, everyone's just going to be so quick to dismiss the NBA. The ratings are going to be bad. People are going to say stuff about that. People are going to say it's 2 teams I don't care about. Whatever. If you actually like basketball and are watching these games, I don't know how you could possibly be complaining about this series. Because these 2 teams play so unique, and it feels like they're not going to be the first team to make the move and make the adjustment. Both teams want to just play their own style, and it's working out for both of the teams so far. I'm curious to see who actually makes the first adjustment, and if it happens today. But if I'm the Pacers, I'm staying true to who I am. If I'm the Thunder, I know you already tried to make that adjustment by going small. Didn't really work out for them because they got out-rebounded so bad in Game 1. They resorted back to, we're just going to stay who we are. We're not going to do the double bigs as much, but it's not like they've relied on that for the most part this season. It's something that they could pull out if they needed to. but they haven't had to pull it out this series, and I don't think it's the right matchup for it. I guess I just don't see there being a big move that needs to be made other than let Pascal keep cooking because he's been fantastic. Let Tyrese Halliburton keep doing his thing to where he's not going to be a 30-point scorer. I'd be shocked if he did put up 30 the rest of the series, but he's just constantly in control of the offense and who's getting what shots. And it's been this, kind of rebirth of the old school point guard in just terms of trying to get everyone involved and hunting the best shot for his team. And it's been really refreshing for me to watch too, because I didn't get to watch Steve Nash, but that's kind of who it feels like I'm watching. I didn't get to watch old Isaiah Thomas, but in a way, like some of it feels like that's what I'm watching here with Tyrese Halliburton. The way he's not hunt happy, the way he's not, hey, get out of the way and let me cook. He's just sitting there reading a defense, reacting to it, and making sure his teammates are getting the best looks possible. We talked about it last week on the show. I think him getting his teammates comfortable with the ball in their hands throughout the regular season, throughout these playoff runs, has allowed everyone to step up in a big way here in the postseason because no one's uncomfortable with the ball in their hands, rather than this Thunder team that's so Shea dependent, that is so reliant on Shea to get to the free throw line or get off this ridiculous shot down the stretch of games that no one else in the fourth quarter seems comfortable. And for that reason, I kind of am liking the Pacers, even though they could have wrapped it up on Friday. We'll see what happens tonight. Game 5, NBA Finals. Tonight, the Tigers could make a mega trade here at the deadline. See what I've got proposed here next on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Discover championship golf with amazing views at Apple Mountain in Freeland. Whether you're chasing birdies or just out for a relaxing round, Apple Mountain offers a stunning 18-hole experience for every skill level. Perfect greens, scenic fairways, and a course that plays as beautifully as it looks. Book your tee time now at applemountain.com. Apple Mountain. Golf elevated. Just minutes from Saginaw, but miles from the ordinary.
When someone asks me, when is the best time to start saving for retirement, my answer is simple. Today. I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor. I can help you build a plan for your ideal retirement by identifying your unique goals and keep you on track to achieve them. The sooner you get started, the better.
Edward Jones financial advisor Kevin Spencer at 416 West Wackerly in Midland, under the green awning. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
This summer, the fun is back and it's bigger than ever. The Moody Foundation invites you to Bounce and Bites, a free, family-friendly event series happening every month in Midland. We're talking about bounce houses, food trucks, live music, and good vibes, all for a great cause. Every dollar we raise helps local kids afford sports, music, art, and more. Join us all summer long. Check out the full schedule at bounceandbites.com. The word bounce, the letter N, the word bites.com. The Moody Foundation, building community one bounce at a time.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the local job market. We're here in person. And we're locally owned, so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at Spherion.com to find your local Spherion office. Let's get to work.
There are many ways to say Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra. You could say it with your show choir buddies at your high school reunion.
Miller Lite is more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
However you say it, it's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer for 12 fluid ounces. Miller Lite, 96 calories, 3.2 carbs. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. Taste test performed by Institute for Perception, February 2018.
Calling all royalty. Join the Great Lakes Loons for Princess Night, presented by High Country Jumpers. Saturday, June 21st. The Loons will take the field in magical Moana-inspired jerseys. Stick around after the game for a dazzling fireworks loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. It's a night fit for the whole family. Tickets are selling fast. Visit loons.com before they're gone. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Hour number 3, Ben Bosscher Show live on this Monday in Michigan. Dude, it's supposed to be like 80 degrees later, Kyle. Can't wait to go on my little power walk.
And we had a really nice weekend, man.
Hit the gym.
Warm weather's finally here.
I can't wait. It feels a lot overdue. I'm excited to get outside a little bit because it's been way too cold. Not too cold to be outside, but like it hasn't felt like summer yet. And we're already like to the point where, 5 days from now, it's the longest day of the year.
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't had like the super hot 85-degree day, you know?
Oh, it's
I've
coming.
been waiting on that.
It's coming. And then people are going to start complaining about it. Not me, though. I will never complain when it's that hot. I'll complain all day when it's cold, but not when it's that hot. Okay. We did this to open up the show, and I want to do it again because I have some more, thoughts. I told you I'd circle back to you. And after thinking about it a little bit, I've got some more things to say to Craig Breslow, the Red Sox general manager. So, again, I'm Scott Harris. You're Craig Breslow. I'm calling you on the phone. Hey, Craig. It's Scott again. I just wanted to, re-engage in some conversations that we had earlier today about potentially moving on from some prospects. I'd like to trade for Aroldis Chapman and Alex Bregman, and I'd like to know what that's going to take to be able to make that happen because I'd like to add an arm, and I'd like to add a right-handed bat here at the deadline.
Okay, let's talk about it.
What do you need from me in order to make this happen? And I get it. You guys aren't necessarily going to be selling here at this year's deadline, but I'm just trying to stay ahead of the game, right? Let's say you guys do end up slipping out of a position to where you think you could make a deal. You're 6.5 games back from the Yankees right now. You just traded your best bat in Devers. Bregman's still on IL. Let's say that you guys end up in a situation where you just have to be sellers. You don't have a good next 45 days. So you end up selling at the deadline. What's it going to take for me to be able to get both of those guys off your hand? And again, not that you don't already know this, but Bregman's an expiring contract. What if he just decides to leave this offseason and you don't get anything for him? I'll give you something for him right now. We need another arm too with Vest out. We needed another arm anyway. Why not throw in Aroldis Chapman? 2 birds, 1 stone. What's it going to take?
Well, thank you for informing me that Alex Bregman is an expiring contract. Wasn't aware of that until you brought it up.
Well, he's not an expiring contract, but he has an opt-out, is what I meant to say.
Right.
Alex Bregman has an opt-out.
Well, look, here in the Red Sox organization, we have no idea if we're contending or selling, right? We just dealt away our best player, our best franchise player, who's on contract for 8 more years for 2 subpar starting pitchers, maybe even relievers, and not a top 100 prospect in all of Major League Baseball. So to acquire those guys that are on expiring deals, it's probably not going to take any of your top prospects.
I'd be willing to give them up, if I'm being completely honest.
Unless you just want to get fleeced.
No, but I feel like you should be asking for more, and I'm willing to give up more, Craig. That's the thing. I just want to make that clear. I'm willing to give up really anything in the system.
For 2 expiring guys to an organization that likely won't extend them
in
Detroit.
Trying to win a World Series this season. Players over prospects is my mantra right now. I don't really care about how Max Clark can help me out in 2027 right now. I'm looking around the rest of the American League, and I feel like adding Aroldis Chapman and adding Alex Bregman legitimately makes the Tigers a World Series contender. So yes, I am willing to give up some future superstar prospects to do it.
Well, if you're looking to give up Max Clark or Kevin McGonigal, let's sign the deal right now.
Okay.
Let's get the trade going now.
Done. Max Clark that just gets it done by itself?
Max Clark, throwing obviously a couple major league guys, Trey Sweeney.
Take him. You want Vierling? Take him. All right, I'm hanging up now. Bye.
Yeah, hang up.
Okay, so I guess we do this because, again, I think there's just some people out there that are so dead set on hey, Max Clark, Kevin McGonigal, look at this duo. Look what they're doing over in West Michigan. It's if you have the chance to trade Max Clark for a big-time player in return, why would you not do that this season and go make yourself a World Series contender?
Are either of these guys big-time players to you?
Clark and McGonigal?
No.
Bregman and Chapman?
And Chapman. I'm asking you.
The people listening in their car can't see, but I'm making an insane facial expression. Yes, they're big-time players to me. Chapman's a future Hall of Fame player who's having one of the better years of his career right now at the age of 37, and Bregman would instantly be the best hitter on this Tigers team. His .938 OPS that he had before he hit IL about 3 weeks ago would be 100 points better than anyone on the Tigers right now. Yes, these are two all-star caliber players. I don't know if they're both going to be all-stars, especially with Bregman on IL right now.
I just didn't know what your definition of big-time player was.
If you add both of these players, I legitimately think you can make the case that the Tigers are winning the World Series. And again, I don't think you can do that case right now, especially with no Vest. And we don't know how long Vest is going to be out. Maybe it's 2 weeks. Maybe it's the season. No idea. Maybe he doesn't even miss more than a week. But if you all of a sudden have Chapman, Vest, and Canely, and all of a sudden on offense you've got Glaber, Carpenter, Green, Torkelson, and Bregman, it's like, okay, now you actually have something tangible that you can say, if we're playing the Dodgers in a series, we're not afraid. We've got our guys too. We've got some loaded weapons in the lineup. Right now, I just don't think they have the offensive star power to beat a team like the Dodgers or the Padres or San Fran for that matter. And I don't think they have the bullpen. What's become very clear over the past 2 weeks is they don't have the bullpen to be able to pull off a series like that. I'm just so invested this season in spending the farm system to try to win a World Series this season. The grass is green, man. Let's keep watering it. Let's keep adding things to it. Let's ensure that the Tigers can get to the World Series. Because right now it's like, hey, postseason, anything can happen. Don't feel good about the chances against any of these NL teams or whoever comes out of that league. But if you add a Bregman and a Chapman, you address both of the issues that the Tigers are dealing with right now, one being a right-handed bat to help out against left-handed pitching, and one being another arm in the bullpen. You've got a chance to add both those guys, and there's people out there on Twitter that are like, man, I don't want to give up Max Clark. He's not going to help you win a World Series this year. He should be the number one person Scott Harris is calling, or a team, when Scott Harris is making calls, he should be constantly bringing up Max Clark. I don't think the goal should be to move on from Max Clark.
That's what it sounds like to you.
But I guess I'm married to the idea of being all in on this year's deadline and bringing in more talented players to help them win a World Series this year. I don't really care about what Max Clark can do in 27 for the Tigers. I'm worried about 2025 because there's a World Series on the line. What can the Tigers do to make it happen? That's why I was proposing the ridiculous Paul Skeens trade that I'll now admit is ridiculous. Because if you were to just throw in Max Clark, Kevin McGonigal, and just make them say no, I think it would have been possible. Now, it doesn't sound like the Pirates are very interested. Anyone would be stupid for suggesting Paul Skeens is getting traded. But
of course,
now that now there's something else that's tangible. Bregman and Chapman. The Red Sox just shown they're not afraid to sell here by moving on from Devers. And if you can call up Craig Breslow and basically say, what is it going to take to have both of those guys? You can't be like, I don't know, Max Clark isn't really on the table. Move on from him if that's what it takes to add two guys that can help you win a World Series. Because you add those two players who are both all-star caliber players, I really think you're in contention to win this thing. And if you win that World Series, I don't care what happens. Right? If you don't end up paying Skubal and you lose Bregman in free agency and you lose Chapman again, you won a World Series. And odds are you're not winning another one. No, it's so hard to win consecutive World Series with the same team. All you need is one to satisfy your fan base. And the Tigers haven't had one in 40 years. So why would you not be all in to try to make that happen? I guess I'm just confused as to why everyone is so protective of Clark and McGonigal here.
You know who else is protective of those two? Scott Harris, the guy in charge. We heard his comments last week. He basically told us,
said no one's untouchable.
I'm not trading one of those top guys.
He didn't say that. He said no one was untouchable.
He essentially said that. He said, I'm not going to make any moves that alter the future players of this franchise. He's not trading Clark or McGonigal. There's a difference between what you want and what's actually going to happen. And I understand the want, right? This is a Tigers team that has not had a World Series window in 10 years. And 10 years ago, they went for it. 12 years ago, whatever.
And do you think they have any regrets of that? No.
I mean, it took them 6-7 years to get back into things. I'm not saying it was wrong at the time, but it hurt the future of the franchise.
You can't be mad at a team for going all in, though, and trying.
I never said that was.
Baseball specifically, because there is no... You can bring in Bregman, who clearly has interest in playing for the Tigers, right? That was very clear this offseason. He likes the idea of playing with Detroit.
He has interest
not
in
as
being
much as
paid.
Boston. Correct. The Tigers have the ability to pay him. That's what...
They had the ability to pay him 4 months ago, and they didn't.
And they tried.
What makes you think they will now?
Best. It bothers me to the nth degree that people say, well, the Tigers won't pay him. They have the ability to pay him. It's just a matter of convincing the guy in charge that that is the only way to win baseball games. Because right now the Tigers are 18th in payroll. You have to be a top 10 team in payroll to win a World Series. There's evidence of that over the past decade. 9 of the 10 last World Series winners have been top 10 in payroll. And the one team that wasn't was Atlanta, and they were 11th. You have to spend at some point. And right now, you can trade for 2 guys on expiring. Bring them back. Bring them back. Hey, Bregman, you still want to play for the Tigers? Here's X amount of money. What's it going to take to stay here, to finish out your career here? Make it happen. Chapman, you can let go. Like, you can let go after a World Series.
Right, yeah, they wouldn't extend him.
And honestly, if you win a World Series...
He's a 1-year deal guy for the rest of his career.
Honestly, though, if you win a World Series, like, you don't even have to really bring back Bregman, right? You just won't have Max Clark anymore. Oh, well, here's the trade-off. You won a World Series. Why is this even a question? 989-837-6125. That's the number to the Mint messages. You guys can leave a comment on the YouTube page as well. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Would you be willing to give up Max Clark here at the deadline? I guess that's the question that we have shifted to, because to me it's yes, it's obvious. Why on earth would you not give up someone like Max Clark if you can acquire the likes of an Alex Bregman and a Aroldis Chapman and really push this team forward to try to win a World Series? Hey, you guys can explore the Great Lakes shipwrecks and dive into adventure with Dive and Glide. Sign up for open water dive courses at diveandglideinc.com. Learn the skills, practice, and get certified. Whether you're a beginner or just brushing up on your skills, they've got classes to get you underwater with confidence. And if you're already a pro, well, you can shop for the best state-of-the-art gear online. Fins, regulators, masks, gauges, you know the deal. Visit diveandglide.com and gear up for your next underwater adventure. That's diveandglideinc.com, Michigan's home for all things scuba. All right, we'll finish out our stock exchange next here on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Had a fun homestand last week at Dow Diamond, including 2 sellouts on Star Wars Night Saturday and Father's Day on Sunday. Wisconsin would take the 6-game set 4 games to 2, but Loon's bright spots throughout the week. Kendall George had a 4-ribby game on Saturday, and Jordan Thompson closed out Sunday with a nice performance, a ribby double, and a solo homer, his 6th of the year and 5th at home. Jesus Broca is 0-1. Thompson swings, hard hit ball in the air to right. It's carrying, out! JT goes the other way and has another here at Dow Diamond. This upcoming week, Great Lakes stays home. A 6-game homestand that they begin on Tuesday at 7:05 against the Peoria Chiefs. A loaded weekend. We start with Hometown Heroes Night presented by Meyer on Tuesday. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:50.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think. That's really a great point, yeah. And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am and what I stand for. And, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it. Yeah. And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Do
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with a Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
Something happens when we can't be our true selves. You can hear it in our laughs. There's the half-hearted chuckle.
Oh.
The courtesy conference caller.
Yeah, great.
And of course, the I'm only laughing because I'm dating your daughter.
Oh, that's so true.
If you want to laugh for real, try having some Miller Lite with some friends. It works. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. We do it every Monday. We did it a little bit in the 9 o'clock hour, but we didn't have time to finish it up, and we both had some more that we wanted to get to. So it is our Monday morning stock exchange.
You know what? I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
The stock market.
All right, to recap, I was selling stock on the Savannah Bananas. That got the YouTube chat pretty excited. I also sold stock on Adam Silver, and I bought stock on Ohtani. And that's all I got. What did you do?
I bought stock on a crazy NBA offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I sold stock on the AL Central for losing almost every single game this weekend. And I sold stock on umbrellas because why are you using an umbrella when it's not raining out?
The only exception is if you're at the beach.
Is it really selling stock on umbrellas, though, or is it just selling stock on, like,
just people?
The human race? Yeah.
No, I think umbrellas is the way to go on that, but
yeah.
But I understand that just people in general. I'm just
wear a hat. Enjoy the sunshine.
I'm not a very outgoing person, I would say. So, like, I don't know. I feel like I could always just be like, yeah, people. Selling stock on people in general.
It's just so basic, yeah.
Okay, I'll go next then. Okay. I am buying stock on Caitlin Clark, dude. This is another one like Ohtani where it's just like, just put a little bit into the fund every once in a while. She comes back for the first time. She misses 5 games, out for 2 weeks. And yesterday just lights up an undefeated Liberty team, by the way. No longer, because Caitlin Clark comes in and just goes bananas. 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 7 threes, and gives the Liberty their first loss of the season. First time in her career she had been out for an extended period of time. Was with a quad injury, and she just comes back and instantly. I don't think she's quite the best player in the WNBA yet, but she's well on her way to being that, and I'd like to buy some stock on it right now. Because there is no doubt in my mind she will be the best player in the NBA very soon, and then for a long time will hold that title.
Buying Ohtani stock and Caitlin Clark stock?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what? How much are you buying this for? 100 times more than any other stock?
Hey, man.
It's a crazy buy.
I'm a consistency guy, you know? Just keep feeding the S&P 500. It'll pay off eventually, you know? No need to buy crypto and all this stuff that's going to go up and down on a week-to-week basis. We're just funding the accounts.
All right, I got to sell. I'll zag. I'm selling my stock on Adam Schefter, dude. I am sick and tired of him tweeting non-NFL news. Leave it to the other guys.
He's the
NFL guy. Does a great job with it. But he tweeted about the Desmond Bain trade, and then he tweeted about the J.J. Spaun sinking the putt. It's like...
He also got into politics recently,
Just
I feel
be
like.
NFL. Yeah.
He was the whole reason I found out there was a new pope, which was actually like kind of appreciated. I probably wouldn't have ever found that out if it wasn't for an Adam Schefter tweet.
You'd have never found that out.
Probably not, no.
Be news to you.
But yeah, he does be tweeting about a lot of stuff these days. Just kind of dipping his toes everywhere a little bit.
It's messed up. I follow you for NFL news. That's it. Keep it to that.
Are you a Dove Cliveman guy? Do you follow him?
Of course not.
Okay.
Who is a Dove Cliveman
Hey, I'm
guy?
just making... there's a guy that works in this building that has Dove notifications on. Crazy,
That's
right?
Crazy.
It is crazy.
That's actually crazy.
Okay, I'm selling my JJ Spaun stock. I feel like it's peaking right now. He won his first major. Does he ever win another major? I don't know. I'm willing
Probably
to bet.
not.
I'm willing to bet no. This is a very random event. The weather, the course, I feel like you just could have rolled the dice to pick a winner. Not saying he was undeserving, but at the same time, it's like, is he really one of the 5 best golfers in the world, 10 best golfers in the world? I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and sell that stock.
Definitely not.
I'm going to go ahead and sell that stock and basically bet that he's not going to win another major.
That's fair. That's a good one. While he's on a high.
Yeah.
But Adam Schefter did let you know, $4.3 million putt, JJ Spaun sunk. To win, obviously. Thank you, Shefty.
He had multiple tweets about when the golf thing was wrapping up. He's just a versatile guy, you know.
No, he's not. Don't be versatile.
You only want NFL. Okay, then who is it acceptable?
I don't want other stuff from Shams.
Who's it acceptable to get tweets from various sports then? Like, no one? Is no one? You just have to pick a sport and that's the only sport you're allowed to tweet about?
Stephen A. Smith is acceptable.
Stephen A. Smith doesn't even watch the sport he's supposed to be tweeting about. Playing solitaire instead.
Then no one. That's why there's different people in different categories.
What about you and I? I got to pick one sport?
No,
that's my favorite part about being a radio host rather than like
Colin
a beat
Coward
writer.
tweeted about other stuff.
That's why
we're also not reporting.
Exactly. I was going to say that's why I like being a radio guy, not on the beat for anything. We get to dip our toes into everything, and nobody can yell at us about it. Okay, right. What else are you? Oh, is it my turn?
No, it's my turn.
Oh, okay.
And I have a buy that you're going to hate.
Let's hear it.
I think I'm buying Bengals stock right now. Is this a good time to buy? Look.
I don't know,
They
man.
re-engaged talks with Trey Hendrickson. If they get something done with him, like, we're both out on the Steelers. I know you are. The Browns are going to be terrible, even though Sarah thinks they have a comeback season for some reason. And the Ravens are just, I mean, like, are they due to, like, have a little bit of a fall off?
I think the Ravens are going to be even better this year with their defensive upgrades.
I agree that they're going to be good again. But the Bengals aren't going to be as bad as last year if they do get something done with Hendrickson. I think I'm kind of buying some stock on the Bengals.
So you're basically just betting on them to make the playoffs is essentially what you're doing. It's not a bad bet.
Think about the other wild card teams.
The Jaguars.
I already talked about how much I hate the AFC South. The East is like, Dolphins, Jets.
It's that
Patriots.
West. It's the West.
the West, you're right.
Yeah. The Chargers and Broncos should both be playoff teams, ideally. At least they're both going into the season saying that. The Patriots, I think, are an outside chance. But yeah, you're right. It's probably not a bad idea to sell some Bengals stock. I will not be doing it, though. I'm all set.
Buy the Bengals stock, yes.
I'm all set right now. I'd like to sell I don't have any of this stock, but if I did, I'd like to sell it. Love Island, dude. Never seen it.
Ooh,
don't care.
One.
Don't care. Every Monday I wake up and open Twitter and my timeline's filled with it, even though I've never watched one episode, don't know one character, don't know how many seasons there are, never care to know anything about this show. But people are just nonstop talking about it Monday mornings. I don't know who Ace is, but apparently Ace is a bad guy, or Ace, maybe he's a good guy. I don't know. I'm out on Love Island. Please get it off my timeline.
Yes, it's pretty good. I've never been a Love Island guy. I haven't met a lot of Love Island guys out there.
They're out there.
But I'm just not a big that type of show. You know, Bachelor, Bachelorette.
Out.
All that stuff.
So out.
I'm pretty out on that stuff. I see the appeal for it. Like, I understand why people like it.
I do not.
It can be entertaining, I guess.
No. Not in my household. It won't be. No, I don't think so.
No? Okay. All right, I'm selling Tigers Saturday games, man.
Explain.
7 straight L's on Saturday.
Really?
Yes. They have not won a game on Saturday since April.
What?
So if you're thinking like, man, Tigers are so good this year, we got to get to a game. Beautiful, 1 p.m. Saturday, let's go watch. Don't.
That's crazy.
They're gonna lose.
I didn't know that.
And they've been losing these games too. Like, it's not just they've lost 7 straight close ones. Jake Rogers was pitching the other night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
7 straight on Saturday. I mean, they've been losing game 2 of the series a lot, so it kind of makes sense.
I was unaware of this.
Yeah, 11-1 against the Reds, 6-1 against the Cubs, 10-3 against the Rangers a while back, 7-5. Like it's bad.
Okay, I've got one more. I am buying stock on pickleball. I've always made fun of pickleball. I wasn't a big fan. I was like, what? Like, for me personally, it was like, I consider, like, for a 23-year-old guy, I was like, I'm pretty athletic, you know? Like, if I'm going to play a sport, it's to be athletic and show some of that off. And I was always like, man, pickleball just doesn't really require a lot of skill. Played pickleball. I thought my athleticism would take care of most of the challenge. It did not. I was not very good, and I have a new appreciation for pickleball and people who play it because there's a lot of skill involved, and I was unaware. But I'm out on the people who are like super, super, super serious about it on the pickleball court. Like,
wow, you're out on people being serious about sports.
About pickleball, it was like kind of frightening. It's like,
just pickleball?
Pickleball.
It's something wrong
Here's the
with
thing:
it?
I don't know if pickleball's a sport to me. It's more of just like a game.
Oh, come on.
You know, like
it's a sport.
No, you know what I mean. It's like it's a sport, but is it like a real sport, or is it just like it's something that people play for fun? That's what it is to me. Maybe your relationship with pickleball is a little bit different, but I think it's just like
I don't even play pickleball.
let's
It's
just
a
go have
sport.
some fun rather than like if I want to play a sport and be in a competition, pickleball is not something that's coming to my mind.
Okay, so if I go to shoot hoops by myself to have some fun, is that playing a sport?
Yeah, but you're not like in
And
a
there's more
competition.
competitiveness.
If you want to have a
How are you not in a
competition, play
competition in
tennis.
pickleball?
Play tennis if you want to have a real competition.
What?
Pickleball is for fun.
You're still competing. You're playing
Yeah.
against another team.
Yeah.
How is it any different
here's
than
what
tennis?
I guess here's my stance on it. I like I'm buying stock in pickleball, fun game, not all that serious though.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Not all that serious.
Just
989
buying stock on the most popular sport in the world in the summertime. Crazy.
in the world?
Dude, pickleball is the most popular sport. Look it up.
I don't really want to. 989-837-6125. Hit the news when we come back, and then we'll do our 2 traditions to end every show here on the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050, designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
Step right up to Lucky Hot Dog Night with the Great Lakes Loons, Thursday, June 19th. Feeling lucky? Golden tickets will be hidden in the wrappers of our hot dogs throughout the game. It's Thirsty Thursday, presented by J.P. O'Sullivan Distributing, with half-off beer all night. And we'll have a post-game fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show. Let's hit the news because there's some ongoing news in the sports world, Kyle. So let's do it.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Yeah, Ben, as you mentioned, we got some major news dropping here.
Major.
Our YouTube chat just blowing up about it. Joey Chestnut is back, baby. The Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest on July 4th. The GOAT of all GOATs is returning to his craft after not performing last year.
So
competing.
He was here 2 summers ago?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I don't think that was last summer. I think it was 2 summers ago.
Yeah, it wasn't last summer.
In that whole week we were debating, and we did it on the payoff as well, is Joey Chestnut on the Mount Rushmore of individual sports? And I was like, no. Like, as great as he is at his very niche sport, no. Your thoughts?
If that is a sport, there's no Mount Rushmore. It's just a statue of him and no one else. The most dominant in his sport of any competitor ever.
Watching him do it live, like in person, it was so gross, dude. It was disgusting.
Oh yeah, no, that stuff is so gross.
But he was cool, dude. We went out and got some drinks afterward. Not just like me and him, like a bunch of people went downtown, got some drinks in Midland, and he was like a super chill guy.
So your boy.
I don't know if I'd call him my guy, but I had a good time the day he was here. It was a rain delay, but he made the most of it. Still ate it like, I don't know, 40 chicken tenders in like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
5 seconds, like 2 minutes. It was ridiculous.
I wonder how much they're paying him to come back because of how much of an L that competition was last year without him.
I don't even know who won it.
I don't know another person that competes. You know, it's like, it's just him. All right, let's move on to some actual sports. Shots thrown, question mark?
Maybe.
The Michigan Panthers, they lost the UFL championship 58-34 this weekend against the DC Defenders.
Womp, womp.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, we debated last Monday or Tuesday, like, hey, are you watching this? And we were like, maybe. And then Saturday rolled around, and predictably, neither of us watched a second of it. So I have no takes other than...
If I had nothing else going on...
Yeah, but you've got
Stanley
motion,
Cup
man.
wasn't on...
You got that motion.
I probably would have watched that.
You got things going on in your life.
You know, I got stuff going on. All right, we saw the big trade in the NBA with Desmond Bane. Talked about it earlier. We found out, though, that Kevin Durant, the 3 teams that he wants to go to are the Miami Heat, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Houston Rockets. Both the Knicks and Timberwolves not included, despite being the teams that are interested in acquiring him.
And I saw Wendy on X during the last break saying Suns are kind of underwhelmed by these offers from these 3 teams. Well, get used to it because it's a 37-year-old on an expiring contract. No one's given you anything of real value to acquire him. Like, you're not getting San Antonio's 2nd overall pick. That's just not happening. You're not getting Bam out of bio. That's just not happening. Also, I don't know why Miami would. They're just the same bad team if they were to have done that. And who was the last team? The Rockets?
Yeah. Rockets can put together the best package.
But you're not getting Ben Thompson.
Players-wise, yeah.
So, like, I don't know what the Suns expect. They're not going to get the same return they got for him when they traded for him. You know what I mean? It's not... That's just unrealistic at this point.
And Wendy tweeting that, he didn't tweet about the golf event. He didn't tweet about baseball. Just tweeting about the NBA stuff.
Up
his corner.
Up his lane.
All right, Stanley Cup Finals, 3-2. Panthers leading over the Oilers. Game 6, Tuesday at 8. Where you at?
It feels like the Panthers have created a gap between them and the Oilers to where the Panthers' defense and the physicality has made it clear that they are the better team to me. And it's going to take basically playing perfect from Edmonton from this point forward to pull this thing out.
How about Brad Marchand, though, dude?
Stud. That whole
Unreal.
Panthers line
been betting on the wrong
ridiculous.
guys to score goals, man.
Yeah, you are right. We have.
You have. That's what
I have. Correct. Thanks.
All right, the big-time news today was the super unexpected blockbuster trade that we've been talking about all show. Rafael Devers, out of nowhere, traded to the San Francisco Giants for Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, James Tibbs, who was the Giants' first-round pick a year ago, 13th overall. The bigger news of this is that Devers is in year 2 of an 11-year extension with the Red Sox. Boston not paying a dime of it, though. So I see mixed reactions with this trade, where a lot of people are like, oh my God, why did they get not crap for Devers? But then I see some people like, kudos to them for getting completely out of this contract.
That's kind of more so where I lean. Like, is it that big of a surprise based on everything that has been happening with Devers over the past 3 months?
And it's clear that he wanted out.
And it's clear I don't think Boston enjoyed having him around. The Devers experience just wasn't great. Hey, can you help us out and be DH? No. We're in a bit of a pinch. Can you play first base? No. Hey, Rafael, did you just pull your hamstring? You literally gave up on trying to get to first base. No, I actually just gave up. No injury. It's like, I wouldn't enjoy that guy being on my team either. If I'm a Red Sox fan, I'm like kind of happy about this. Like, get that guy. I don't like the return that they got, but get that bum off my team. He doesn't try. He's not there to win.
They traded Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, and now Rafael Devers.
Okay, but the Devers thing is like, he got his money and just like clearly had less interest in winning and getting.
He's still really good.
He's still a very good
bat. He sucks.
But when he's not in the box, when he's on the base paths or at third base or wherever he is, he just doesn't care. Right?
Right. I guess
like,
my thing is
the lack of effort is. I guess it's me watching the Tigers as much as I do, and seeing the effort that gets put in and the selflessness that gets put in and the team first mentality. Over everything that I watched Devers, and I'm like, get this guy away. Just such a toxic.
So you wouldn't have
person.
given up Max Clark for him?
Not Devers, no.
That's the part about this that I'm just shocked about. It's like this whole sneaky GMs thing. Obviously, we saw it with Nico Harrison. Like, if teams knew that you actually were going to trade Rafi Devers, you know how much people would have given up for him?
Probably more than they probably could have got a better package.
Haul for this guy. He's under contract for 8 seasons.
The Giants are really going to have to figure out how to get to him and be like, dude, we need you to care about baseball again. And maybe
Giants, a team that currently has a third baseman as well. So
correct. Maybe
interested to see how that's going to work.
Maybe this will be a light under, a fire under his butt though, man. Like, hey man, this team didn't even want you on the roster anymore. Like, you got to give us something.
I think he didn't want them.
I think it was both.
Yeah.
I think it got ugly real fast, and Rafael Devers did not help his situation, and it ended up getting him moved. So maybe he got exactly what he wanted.
More MLB news. Shohei Ohtani returning to the mound tonight to pitch against the Padres. Did find out game's not on ESPN, but it is on MLB Network.
Yep.
The bad news is 10-10 first pitch, man.
Yeah, but
obviously these West Coast games.
You only got to watch the first inning or two because he's only going a couple innings.
True.
And once he gets taken, not that the game doesn't matter, but if you want to watch Ohtani, you don't got to stay up crazy late. You got to stay up a little late. but he's probably only going 2 innings tonight, depending on how the first inning goes. Can't wait, though.
Excited.
I'll be up
It'll
for
be
it.
fun. Last thing, we speculated on this earlier, but the Tigers lose the series to the Reds, but more importantly, Will Vest, after a wild pitch, exits the game. AJ Hinch said afterwards, something had discomfort with the pinky. Either way, they start a 3-game home series with the Pirates tomorrow and the day out today.
Skeens coming to Comerica.
Skeens.
You'd have to be crazy, though, to suggest Skeens would get traded to the Tigers. Why would
no
they?
Skeens Scooble matchup, though. It's a day off. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it does suck. So that's what baseball should. The MLB should just require that to happen. Hey, we don't really care what's going on. These two guys are playing each other, and we'll put it on national television.
It would have been awesome.
Did I tell the story on air about the scout in the ballpark this weekend?
Yes.
I did? Okay. I don't want to do it again then.
But the fact that it took a Pirate scout to tell you that trade was ridiculous is honestly concerning.
I stand by it, though, man. Here's Clark, here's McGonigal, here's Jackson
No
Jobe.
one's.
And I
no
think,
one is doubting that. Why would you ever trade Paul Skeens as the part that?
Because you're getting Jackson Jobe and
you should
Max
be
Clark
focusing
and Kevin McGonigal and Trey Sweeney and whoever else. Like I think the value itself was there. It's just the contract is what made it. I don't know. You'd have to be crazy to suggest Paul Skeens was ever going to be a Tiger. So
Maybe in 4 years we'll try again.
yeah, we will. I promise. 989-837-6125. 2 traditions to close out the Ben Bosscher Show when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on a Monday, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland. It seems like every time the Tigers get closer and closer to being healthy, another setback comes with another injury. We obviously know the Jackson Jobe news that occurred last week. And this weekend, one of their best guys out of the pen, Will Vest, bulletproof Vest as they've been calling him, left the game with an injury. We don't know the current status on it, but it did not look great. And it's scary for a Tigers team that already has some question marks in the bullpen outside of Will Vest and Tommy Kahnle. Reese Olson and Matt Vierling, we learned this weekend, are nearing return. But with the potential injury or time missed with Will Vest, it makes not only bullpen arm more of a need, but another high leverage bullpen guy, because right now the Tigers were in a spot where they had 2 high leverage guys that you trusted at the end of games. It seemed like a left-handed guy out of the pen was the major need for Detroit. But if Will Vest is going to miss any sort of time, man, it puts a lot of pressure on Tommy Kahnle because there isn't another guy out of that pen that you really trust in the 8th or 9th inning outside of Kahnle right now. And we've discussed the needs for the Tigers at the deadline. We're still over a month and a half away from that. Left side of the infield, a right-handed bat, that's a need. Starting pitching was tossed around a little bit. But at the end of the day, you can never use enough bullpen guys, and especially if Will Vest is going to miss any time, that's going to be the big need for Detroit here shortly. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more. With 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
Some nights are just different. The energy and feeling of being part of something bigger. That's what a Great Lakes Loons group outing is all about.
Whether it's your company, your family, or your best friends, the perfect space is waiting for you at Dow Diamond.
Relax in a private group venue with catering and wait service, or take in the action from a spacious pavilion where an all-you-can-eat buffet and amazing views bring everyone together.
With group packages starting at just $15 per person, it's more than just a game. It's an affordable shared experience at night out.
The best memories start here with your hometown team. Just visit loons.com.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loons staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Michigan. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we've got 2 traditions to close out every show here on the Ben Bosscher Show. But Kyle, I don't know if you saw this during that break. The person you've been mock playing throughout the course of the show, Craig Breslow, is expected to speak to the media tonight at 8 p.m.
Ooh, 8 p.m. That's kind of random.
They're like, when can we make sure that like everyone's preoccupied and not able to tune in? It's like, no. We're not going to do it at 1 like most press conferences because then people will have a distraction at work and want to tune in. We're going to do it at 8, just when everyone's busy or hanging
busy
with
at 8 p.m. on a Monday?
Hanging with their families, watching the NBA Finals, like something. We're going to sneak it in. Also, like 24 hours later, after you make the trade,
I'm going to tune in.
Really? Over the NBA Finals?
I want to see clips from it. I want to see what he's got to say.
I also want to see what he has to say, so maybe I will be.
It's like when an actor plays somebody in a movie, like I got to study film before I play a role.
Method acting.
Yes, of course.
Method acting. Okay. So our 2 traditions to close out every show. Our first of them is the lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Okay. Our lock of the day. Let's give some updates on how last week went, Kyle.
Because Friday was a huge day.
Game changer. Lifesaver.
You did hit on Friday. Shea, 35 plus points, plus 106. 35 points on the dot.
In just the waning moments of the game, hitting free throws to ice it.
Awesome. So currently, total on the entirety of the show, now 10 locks in.
Mm-hmm.
You are plus 1.68 units up.
Pretty good.
So just over a unit and a half. Last week, you went plus 1.16 units up. You're 5-5 all time on the picks. And you were 2-0 as far as being up on each week.
Okay.
Riding a 1-game win streak right now.
So we're 5-5 in total. Of the 4 losses, 4 of them have been for Connor McDavid to score a goal. And fortunately for me, we bet on Connor McDavid to score a goal on Saturday because it was going to hit eventually. unfortunately for the people, this doesn't count for the lock of the day or anything. So I'm going to be off the train because we got our money on it. Maybe it happens again on Tuesday. I'm not going to be betting on it. So today, we got to look elsewhere. We either got to look NBA, baseball. I guess there's some WNBA on too. I'm sure there's soccer on that you can bet on. But we're going to go towards baseball. We've hinted at it a couple times. We're going to the GOAT. Going to Old Reliable. When in doubt, who do you bet on? The best players ever. I'm betting on Shohei Ohtani to have over 1.5 strikeouts today. You're getting plus odds on that, plus 102. Like I said, he's only going 1 to 2 innings today. You would think that would be, hey, stay away from that. You have no idea how long he's pitching. But my ideology behind it is if he's only going 1 to 2 innings, he's throwing his best stuff, and he's not holding anything back like he is for a normal start. So you're getting his swing and miss. He's attacking people. He's aggressive on that mound. I'm feeling good about this. And the fact that it's plus odds, I mean, come on. If he's going 2 innings, he's getting the 2 strikeouts. Your thoughts?
You would really think so, but this line is so sketchy. 1.5 strikeouts plus odds for the over.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the most stay away prop I've ever seen.
You're saying
he could pitch to one guy.
That
Why is
that
it
would be
1.5?
where we lost. Because there's always the chance he gets pulled after 1 inning.
Which definitely could happen.
But, this is a guy who was 6th in strikeouts in 2022. This is a guy who's had, while he's healthy, one of the best Ks per 9 ratio in Major League Baseball. Like, this guy gets strikeouts. He's trying to get you to swing and miss. He's going to attack the zone. And if he's been out for this long, 21 months since he's gotten that surgery, I think he comes back with vengeance. If he wasn't supposed to be back until like All-Star break-ish, and now he's feeling like he's ready to go, I think he's coming out hot.
Yeah.
He's wasting no time showing he's ready to go. And the Dodgers will be careful about it. They always are. They're not going to let him go super long, especially with the injuries they're already dealing with their starters. But if he's only going 2 innings, he's attacking everyone. So my lock of the day is going to be Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 strikeouts, trying to start off the week on a high note.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
What's our record on Mondays for the lock of the week?
1-1.
Okay.
The McDavid goals just really throws all the stats off.
Yeah. Because non-McDavid goals, what are we, like 6-2?
You just have 1 loss.
Oh my God, man.
You're 5-1.
5-1 in non-McDavid bets. It's pretty good, honestly. It's pretty good. The only other loss is Chet Holmgren over.
It's pretty good if you take out all your losses, yeah.
Yeah, and thank you. All right, the second tradition to close the show is the one and only Colin Cowherd takes over our airwaves at noon here in the Great Lakes Bay region. What's he going to open with today? Whose turn is it to go first?
It's your turn to go first. I'm happy I don't have to go first today. There is so many different things he could lead with.
I don't think it's
baseball.
This
is a tough day.
No, like there's the slim possibility with actually, you know what? I'm going to do it. No NBA the last 2 days. There's
NBA tonight.
There's no football news. Unless he wants to do the Rodgers thing again.
Hendrickson thing, maybe.
I think he's going Boston Red Sox. And he's just going to dump on them. First, he's going to talk about the Mookie trade, the Bogarts trade, and now the Devers trade. I think he just bashes the Red Sox today.
I like that. Definitely would have considered that if you didn't take it.
It's rolling the dice because he doesn't open up with baseball all that often.
No, but this is this is different.
This is
bashing
a bigger than
high
baseball.
market team, super popular team. It's a valid open. I think Ohtani has a chance to get led with just because it's like huge news. I'm not picking it though. The Desmond Bain trade seems like something he could lead with, but it's like Orlando. I don't know if he will. I'm going to sneaky.
What are you going with?
I think he leads with Caitlin Clark.
Ooh, that's actually
what
pretty
I'm going to
good,
go with.
Because that's not bad. That's not bad.
He's not going to talk about it for too long. Maybe like 3 minutes. Just talking about what a performance. And then gets into the NBA or NFL stuff.
Do you think there's any chance he opens with Kevin Durant?
He could. For sure, because he hasn't. That got picked by you and me last week,
and
he didn't do it once.
All right, so you're going with
no
Caitlin
way he
Clark.
leaves with Kevin Durant after the Bane trade happened.
He's not talking about the Bane trade in the open. No way.
No, I agree.
Like 0% chance he's talking about the Orlando Magic and the Memphis Grizzlies in the open. No chance.
He could relate it to KD news, like the fact that the Phoenix pick is in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, dysfunctional Suns type of thing. But I kind of think he's just going baseball today. Because if he's going to talk about baseball, there's only really,
I can see it.
There's only 3 teams he can really do it with, and it's.
Think he has a U.S. Open lead?
No. There's only 3 teams he can lead with baseball: Dodgers, Yankees, Boston, and Boston just made one of the biggest franchise-altering decisions in baseball of their franchise. In baseball in general, one of the best players just got moved. So that's the way I'm leaning. It's like the rare Colin opens with baseball thing, which again I don't think it's. I'm just struggling to pick an NFL thing because minicamp's now over, so I don't know where he goes with that. He still could go Aaron Rodgers or J.J. McCarthy.
He led with Aaron Rodgers 3 times last week. So
yeah, there's always the possibility he does that. Hey,
it's 2-1. You're up.
Oh, 2-1. Okay, we kind of in a way led with Rafael Devers being traded today and just related it to the Tigers.
Right.
So why not him too? All right, that's basically going to do it for us today. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back Wednesday. We'll be back Thursday. We'll be back Friday, as always. And also, the Loons are home once again this week. We had a homestand last week. They're back in action this week. We'd love to see you back at the ballpark and spend your weekend with us here. We've got Princess Night coming up on Saturday. We've got Lucky Hot Dog Night this week as well. You guys have the chance to come in to the ballpark and win a prize. Just buy as many hot dogs as you can and try to find that golden ticket. Usually, I don't know what the prizes are this year, but last year we were giving away like bicycles and TVs. It was good stuff. So with that being said, I hope to see you at the ballpark this week. All right, that is going to do it for us today. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hope you're watching Ohtani tonight. No Tigers, so we'll see how that goes. And the NBA Finals. All right, we will talk to you guys tomorrow. That was the Ben Bosscher Show. Hope it was worth it. Thanks, guys. Peace.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.